Drinking loads of these.
All good. Are we live?
Yeah. Already?
We are live. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We are joined by none other than the invincible Ray Parlour, and we are just going to have a quick chat about Ray's career, what he's achieved, what his favourite moments were as a player. You can ask your questions in through the YouTube channel. On the welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. And we are joined by we are going to be watching the game. Unfortunately, you guys can't watch it with us, but we'll be reacting to the final day of Premier League football, and we'll get Ray's thoughts on what is a good achievement for today, what we want to see out of the game. We are joined by Charlie as well, myself, Zoltan. Both of us are from Fantastic Swap, the company behind this event, and we are a digital collectibles application. A lot of our stuff revolves around Arsenal, so if you do support Arsenal, I would highly recommend for you to check out our app, collect some Arsenal digital collectibles. All you need to do is scan the barcode on the screen that you should be able to see, and that should pull up the application for you, and you can get 8 free packs to get your collection started. Welcome, Ray. Thank you very much.
Lovely to be here, Charlie, and
for joining us for the last day of Premier League action. How would you sum up Arsenal's season?
Well, it's not been a great season because the league doesn't lie. And sitting where they are at the moment in the league, I was expecting a little bit higher, if I'm being honest, to try and push into that top 4. Yeah. The Europa League was very important for the club again this year, and obviously they failed against Villarreal, which was a really poor game for me. Yeah. Especially the second leg. I think they got away with it in the first leg. Yeah. But they got an important away goal, and then I didn't see enough urgency in the second leg, and it was a bit flat, as you mentioned there, Charlie. So I think there's a lot of thinking's got to be done during the summer. You know, Edu behind the scenes, the recruitment's going to be important. And from upstairs as well. I mean, the manager needs to get backed if they think he's the right man to take the club forward.
Yeah. What do you expect from today? What would you like to see?
I hope they go out on a high. Look, the biggest thing for me is seeing fans. You know, Edu behind the scenes, he's been very difficult. Going to be important players. I've been there, and when it's like a training camp as well. I mean, certain games, the manager behind closed doors, when you if they think he's the right man to take the club forward, intensity and. When that crowd is there,
what do you expect from today? What would you like?
That's what it's all about, being a professional football, playing in front of people and performing. So I'm pleased that the stadiums have got the supporters back now.
Apart from City, by the looks of it.
Well, City, I mean they're the champions. Obviously, we see the big sign on the pitch. We are the champions, and another great season for Man City. Whether they can do the Champions League and win the treble, we'll have to wait and see. But for Arsenal's point of view, it's about going out on a high and trying to get 3 points today. You know, if somehow they did get above Spurs, it would be great for the Arsenal fans, because in November, obviously Spurs were top of the league, and Arsenal were having a nightmare in November. That was their worst month, and they was right down, I think 15th, 16th place, and people were, can they be in a relegation battle? Of course, they wasn't going to be in a relegation battle. But certainly, if they can somehow come above Spurs, it's a little bit something back to the supporters if that happened.
We've done it before, last game of the season.
Well, if you look at the fixture, Brighton, I know that they had that result against Man City recently, and they've got a couple of good results. But you expect Arsenal still to win at home at the Emirates, and obviously Spurs wasn't going to be in a relegation battle. It's a difficult game because they'll be somehow come above Spurs with a glimmer of hope for that top 4. It's a little bit of something back to the supporters. They've still got a chance for that top 4, so there's a lot more. Well, if you look at the fixture for Brighton, I know that they had that result against Man City. Obviously Brighton, who are Arsenal, they've got a couple of good results.
And they're away.
Expect Arsenal still to win at home at the Emirates, and obviously Spurs wasn't going to be. And obviously Chelsea playing Aston Villa. It's a difficult game because they'll be something. They've got to get results as well. And obviously Arsenal, it's a little bit of something back to put them in this position. Well, if you look at the fixture now, Brighton,
that was a good win for Arsenal.
Very good win, I think they defended well when they had to. Obviously they've got their chance, and Smith Rowe's been, look, it's been positive this year as well for Arsenal, because Smith Rowe's come into the side. I think he's going to be a real talent. going forward. We know about Saka. He's been an excellent player. So there's been a couple of positives, but obviously where the league is, 9th in the league, that's probably not good enough for Arsenal Football Club.
What do you know about Gabby Martinelli?
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't pay him more. I mean, I think he's got that little bit of energy, and I thought in the first leg, I think they got it wrong when they played Smith Rowe up forward. Yeah. I think I would have played either Martinelli or and maybe put Saka left back. Yeah. And put Martinelli on the right hand side.
They've shown that they can work together on that side.
Absolutely, before. Yeah. I mean, I go back to the FA Cup game, wasn't it? Bournemouth, when they was excellent. Saka and Martinelli down that left hand side, or Pepe, whoever's going to play down that side. But yeah, I mean, I hope he gets more game time next season. I think he will, because he's a top player, and if he can, then I'm sure he'll improve, because he's a young talent, and he's one of those sort of guys that he never gives up. Yeah, and that's what I want to see. If I'm a supporter of Arsenal now, I want to see the desire and say, come on, never give up and keep chasing things down and try and win the ball back if you can. And
I'm desperate.
And Smith Rowe's very similar. Smith Rowe's a very similar sort of player. Yeah. He'll always keep going, and he's come through the ranks, Smith Rowe, and he's absolutely delighted that now that he's in the team. So when the team is playing poorly, it does give an opportunity for young players to get their opportunity. Probably that's what happened to me in my career when the team wasn't playing so well. Then suddenly, George Graham, I'm going to change it. Who's playing well in the reserves at the moment? I was. So you're in. I'll give you a chance. And that's what you need if you're a young player. And that's what's happened to Smith Rowe this year.
Going back to sort of when you started with Arsenal, you were at Arsenal for 12 years. Right? Yeah, I think over 330 games for the club.
460.
Yeah, in the 330 in the Premier League.
339 in the Premier League. Wikipedia. You've been on Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly. Looking up the pre-event.
People don't count the cup games. I'll say, you still play. But
most capped Arsenal player.
Yes, absolutely. I'm really delighted. And you don't have records when you start your career. You just try and do as well as you can, for as long as you can. But when you do finish, and then suddenly someone tells you've got the Premier League record at Arsenal still for the appearances. Obviously not overall, because David O'Leary, people like that, but just for the Premier League itself, because I did play in the old League One as well. I played about 6 games in the old League One, and then obviously the following season it transferred to the Premier League, or Premiership at the time. So I mean, very, very honoured to have that. And as I said before, every single trophy I won, it was very special, and very lucky to win 9, I think it was in the end. So absolutely delighted with that. 4 FA Cups, 3 Premier Leagues. As we look at the Premier League trophy there, it's a magnificent trophy. It's a win. So absolutely delighted and very honoured to be part of Arsenal team in that era.
Talking about trophies, you just mentioned there 3 Premier League trophies. Which one is the one that is the most important, or the one you love the most?
You can't say the most important, because every single trophy is very, very important. But I've got to say the first one. To win that first league title in '98, and it was a great season. We was about 12 or 13 points behind Manchester United at the time, and I don't know if you remember, we went to Old Trafford, and little Mark Overmars scored the only goal of the game, and that really swung it around for us to say, we've got a chance now. We had 2 or 3 games in the hand, and we won 10 games in a row. It was unbelievable, and it was a similar sort of team every single week. We didn't really rotate. If people were fit, they play, and to win at home, Highbury against Everton it was, and we beat them 4-0, I think it was, and Tony Adams scored that brilliant left foot half volley, which could have gone anywhere, if I'm being honest. It could have been, usually they'll end up in the North Bank upper tier, but this time he caught it so sweetly in the back of the net, and that is his statue outside the grounds where he celebrated. And could you believe it? Because Steve Bold, the other centre half, set him up. Yeah. So one centre half to the other centre half, he just couldn't make it up really. So that was a special moment. But you could also say the Invincibles. I mean, that was an amazing season as well to be part of that. But the first one's always the hardest to win. Yeah. We always say to teams now, that first trophy as a group of players is always the hardest one. Once you win one and you get the reaction of the fans, and you get a little bit of a confidence and belief that you can win another one. And I think that's what happened in our teams, definitely.
But the Invincibles, don't you get the little gold tray?
No, I wish I could have one of them, but no, there's only one, which is in the director's box at the moment. I think he's got the director's box where obviously it got given to Arsene Wenger, but Arsene Wenger put it in the director's box. And I mean, it's I was a little bit worried that Liverpool might do it at one stage a couple of seasons ago when they lost to Watford 3-0, and they was on a great run at the time. But again, you don't want them records to be beaten. If you're a little bit selfish. If they did get beaten, someone else did it, I'll go and shake their hands and say, well done, because I know how difficult it is to do that. And because you always have one bad day at the office, and that's what Liverpool had that day when they lost 3-0. Yeah. Luckily enough, when we did have a bad day at the office, we somehow got a draw out of nothing. Yeah. And that's down to the players never giving up and always having a go. Yeah. So that was a special trophy. 202 was a great year as well. So, but you've really got to go with your first one. I mean, that was the one where I thought, well, the medal and everything. Yeah.
You felt like the big achievement.
And we had a very good team, and it was great. Because Arsene Wenger's first real full season that he's won the Premier League, and I think the club were going places then, and to win it at Highbury as well. I thought at one stage the North Bank was going to fall down because it was rocking, it was bouncing. Everybody was just celebrating, and great moments.
What were your thoughts of Arsene when you transitioned over from George to Arsene?
I didn't really know who he was. I think most British guys, we was always expecting another British manager, if I'm being honest. And suddenly, David Dean was obviously the instigator, saying, well, I've got this guy, I've been tracking his where he's managed, obviously Monaco, and then he went to in Japan, and we think he's going to be the right man to take us forward. And from day one, he was brilliant, absolutely superb. The focus, for me, the training methods was brilliant. Never done. He watched their careers develop, and obviously at the time Thierry was at Juventus. Nicolas Anelka was another great signing. He knew exactly how good he was, brought him into the club. So he brought some magnificent players in. Petit done a great job in midfield alongside Vieira. Brought in little Mark Overmars, and after that a little bit of flair with the back four we had as well. And that time, well, back six I call them, because we had Martin Keown and David Seaman. People forget about them guys. You had that base that to say we can get a bit of flair going forward. We ain't going to concede many goals, and that's why we was very successful in the end.
Well, wasn't he one of the first people that changed the diets?
Yeah, a little bit of diets. Yeah, it was definitely a lot more low fat stuff, and always drinking water only, no fizzy drinks really before game. And we used to have pre-match meal, and we'll have it about 3.5 hours before. We used to have like omelettes and beans on toast and scrambled egg and poached eggs and that sort of stuff. But when Arsene come in, it was a 3-course meal.
Oh really?
3.5 hours before kick-off. So spaghetti bolognese, you could have a little starter, and then you might have dover sole or whatever chicken with vegetables and stuff like that. And then we have for dessert, you could have a yogurt or apple pie. Very simple.
How's that sitting? Like 3 hours later?
3.5 hours before. But when we got to kick-off time, I'm pretty hungry again. But we've had all the goodness into your body, and not a lot of sugar, because sugar would give you a high and a low. Yeah. So it was the diet was very much based on keeping your level exactly the same. Instead of going up here, down here, up here, down here.
So I have a banana when I do it on Saturdays.
And the most important thing to win was chew to win. That's what doctors used to say, because when you digesting your food, you want to chew it into little bits, it digests quicker. So silly little things like that. That probably would have made a bit of a difference. It's like if you're hungry, you eat your dinner quicker.
It's probably the mental side of it, isn't it? Because if someone comes in and says, okay, we're going to take this really seriously, chew your food 50 times before you swallow it, because it will help you be stronger on the pitch, you probably will believe that.
Eat a little bit slower. Yeah. And like water. If you down a bottle of water and think that's good for you, it's probably not.
It's not,
because you're going to cut to the toilet.
Yeah.
So if you sip it, the water goes into the right areas, and it soaks it in better. And there's silly little things like that. Whether it made 1% difference or 2% difference, I don't know. It might have done. And if it did, then obviously that was a big help for every player.
Yeah. Same advice with drinking.
Well, a little bit different now, obviously. I'm not playing anymore now, so it's a little bit easier to have a couple of drinks now and enjoy yourself. But we used to have a drink after the game. We used to have a couple of beers. I don't think it hurt you. I mean, it's relaxation. You just played a big game, and usually your adrenaline is still pumping from the game when you finish. If you won a game 3-0, played really well. If it's a night game, you wouldn't be able to go to sleep anyway. So it's probably best to have a couple of beers and just relax, and then your mindset will relax, and then suddenly you want to go to bed and get a good night's sleep, which is obviously sleep is very important if you're going to be a successful footballer.
Yeah. Going back to your invincible season, what if you had to pick one game or one moment from that season? What's your favourite game?
It's an easy one. I wasn't involved in this game, but the biggest moment was it's got to be Thierry when he we was 2-1 to Liverpool, 2-1 down to Liverpool Highbury, and that week we got knocked out of the FA Cup. We got knocked out of the Champions League, and this was at the weekend, and we was right up against it. The morale was low, the confidence was low in the team after losing 2 games, and Thierry just turned it around on his own. I mean, he scored a hat-trick. We beat Liverpool 4-2, and that got us back on track for the last push towards the end of the season. So that was a major moment in that season that Thierry did turn it on and scored that hat-trick to get us back on track, and then we didn't look back after that. We forgot about the FA Cup, we forgot about the Champions League. We're disappointed that we're knocked out of those competitions, but we knew there was a bigger prize still, the Premier League, and obviously still unbeaten. But we didn't look at it and say, right lads, we're going to go unbeaten this season. It was our main objective for every single season, win as many trophies as we can. And that was just a big bonus to go unbeaten.
So was there no...
Arsene Wenger said the year before, this team could go unbeaten. The reason he said that, it's not down to 11 players who start the game. It's down to the squad. He knew that if he had 2 players out, 3 key players out, he had 3 key players who can do the same job, similar sort of job. So that's why he said it. He said, the squad of players I've got is excellent, and these could go unbeaten. But he probably put a little bit too much pressure on us by saying that. But it was an amazing season in the end.
So after games, when you start, surely in the beginning of the season, you're winning, you're drawing, no losses, you don't really talk about it. But once you've played 25, 26 games, is there no chatter in the dressing room?
The press was the one.
The press was the only one that
the press started it. I think it was about 8 games to go, something like that, and they said, "Oh, this team's not been beaten yet," and suddenly every team wants to beat you even more now. You're playing against. But we didn't really talk about it. No, we didn't have meetings saying, "Right, we're still unbeaten." The main thing for us was win that league. And you're right, it's an old cliche, but you take one game at a time. You don't know who's going to get injured towards the end of the season. People might lose form, and as I said before, everybody has bad games. And if 3 or 4 people have a bad game in one game, then we lose. But lucky enough, if one player had a bad game, the other players got him out of jail, sort of thing.
It's a shame, because this season I feel if 1 or 2 players had stepped up in more of the games this season, we could have maybe got more from the season. But like you said there, Thierry was able to just switch the season just by going right.
That one game especially.
We're looking at Aubameyang this year to do the same thing, and just no matter what, there's just always seemed to have been a spark missing. He might have scored a lot of goals, I'm not sure how, but there's that spark missing. Look before he signed the contract last year.
Oh, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
He was world class. We were sitting there going, how could we ever replace him? We're going to have to spend tens of millions, 100 million to replace him. And then suddenly this year...
I think people go out of form though. I'm not going to say he doesn't care that he's playing, but everybody goes through a bit of a bad stage, but he might come back stronger.
Absolutely. But this season, we were looking for that spark, and it just never came.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of questions coming through from the stream, so thank you very much for sending in your questions. Keep them coming. One came from Sean. At the end of the season where final results positions are critical, how aware are the bench players and the on-field players of the score of the other games happening?
Oh yeah, you would know.
Do you know?
I think you can. you can sense it from the crowd. There is a crowd there, because you know when another
Their
team
energy.
scored who you're playing against.
You can hear the
You
rumblings.
could hear what happens. I mean, it happened when I think was it '99, and Manchester United were playing Spurs last game of the season, Old Trafford, and Spurs went 1-0 up. And they was going to do Arsenal a favour, which in the end, Manchester United come back and won the league. Yeah. But we could sense it around the stadium that Spurs had gone 1-0 up, and we was playing Aston Villa, I always remember, and we was 1-0 up, we was doing our job, but we needed Spurs to try and do Arsenal a favour, which was never going to happen, was it? So in the end, they sort of they scored two. They won 2-1. David Beckham scored, I think it was, and obviously Manchester United went on to win the league that year. But that was the last game of the season, and it's great when something's riding on it. I mean, I was hoping, in a selfish way, really. I know it's a lot of stress on players and clubs, but Fulham, believe it or not, were playing Newcastle. Newcastle at one stage were just neck and neck with Fulham, and it could have been a relegation battle today, and probably everybody would have watched that game because it's so much at stake. But obviously the relegation's been done now, so the top four is still where the exciting bit might be today. And if you look at Leicester, it's still got a glimmer of hope for that top four. If Chelsea slip up or Liverpool slip up, so all eyes will be on them 3 games really. Who's playing for something?
Is the Europa Conference not?
Well, it just doesn't sound good, does it? Europa Conference. Conference is a non-league. I always thought it was a non-league division.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I know it's National League now, but it used to be Conference.
We've got actually a question from Lawrence watching the stream. What's your opinion on the Europa Conference League? Is it worth it? Would Arsenal be in a better place if they didn't have a potentially pointless competition to be involved in?
I think for me, it might do them a favour not to be in Europe from one seat. If they don't, and to try and take stock and right, this is it, lads. This is what we've got to do in the summer. The club itself, in general, has got to say, right, we've got big decisions to make. But if you do get in it, say you did come 7th and you're in, you could play your youngsters. You could, you can chop and change teams, and maybe gives them a little bit of experience doing it. Like you've got an under 23 team
that you can fill
out. If you want to play some of those guys in competitions, it gives them a little bit of. It might give them a little bit of experience, and believe it or not, they might show something that wait a minute, this kid might be able to do it on a regular basis in the Premier League. So if we did get in it, then obviously Mikel Arteta's got to think how important it's going to be for the club, and if it's not sort of trophy you want to be playing for, then the under 23s can play. Which brings the trophy down a little bit, if I'm being honest. But that's how I would look at it. It's a little bit like the League Cup, isn't it?
There's two
when teams rest certain players for the League Cup,
they
play stronger ones on the FA Cup or the champion, knowing they've got Champions League football or whatever. And I think that Conference League might be very similar to the League Cup.
In terms of the types of players who teams will fill out. From a transfer perspective, do you think it would have a negative impact for Arsenal not to have European football?
Oh, absolutely, I mean, it's going to be a hell of a job to sell the club. I mean, you can always look back at the history, the players who've played for the club, and the trophies they've won. And that's how you're going to sell the club to a player. So look, we want to get back to this, and you're going to be a big part of it going forward. And it is Arsenal Football Club. It's a great club to be involved in, and some players might say, right, I'm up for the challenge. I want to get Arsenal back into the Champions League. But on another note, everybody wants to play European football. Everybody wants to play that Champions League. That's the problem you're going to have in trying to attract a player. He's got to say, right, okay, I'm happy to miss out European football for one season
if we
can get back the following season, and obviously selling the club is saying, right, we're going in for 3-4 players, and the recruitment is going to be so important for Edu, Mikel Arteta, whoever's going to do the business behind the scenes, and obviously the owners have got to back the manager with finances, because you might have to pay a little bit more for certain players. You might have to give them a little bit more wages because
no European.
And that's why you get around it.
We've got another question coming that kind of sort of asks about Arteta. Anush asking what you want to see from Arteta next season.
Well, he's got to have a good start. That's one thing. I mean, he's a realistic man. He knows he's bang under pressure. With the season they've had. it's been a tough season for him because he's had to get rid of quite a few players. He had to get rid of Ozil, Mustafi, Kolasinac, trying to move them out the door, who maybe he's causing a little bit of unrest in the dressing room area. So he's managed to do that, and I'm really looking forward. I think he definitely will be there next season at the start.
Yeah.
Pre-season is going to be very important as well.
Yeah.
We mentioned recruitment, pre-season training, trying to get his points across. He's got to highlight what players he wants going forward.
Yeah. We know too that
we know quite a few that he might say, right, he can get better, he can improve, and then obviously bring a few players yourself.
Yeah.
And then get off to a good start, and that is going to be so important for Mikel Arteta to, their first 10 games.
Yeah,
because you don't get a lot of time. You don't get a lot of time.
You don't.
Well, we had a nightmare in November. November was a horrendous month. And if you look down the road at White Hart Lane, obviously Spurs are top of the league, so that doesn't help either.
Because Arsenal had a very good.
I thought we started.
They had a decent
after that
start
November, the form they've had since, they would have been second.
Yeah, so, true.
They've shown signs, but that month really scuppered everything, whether to get into Europe or not. And you can't have months like that if you're going to be trying to get in that top four. We had a pretty sticky November a lot when I played.
Yeah.
I don't know what reason it was, but we always seemed to. We was really flying at August, September, and then suddenly November was always a month where we just dropped some points and we didn't play as well. And I don't know what it was. I don't think Arsene Wenger could get his head around why we was playing, why it changed so much.
Yeah.
So sometimes people have lows in certain months where you've started really well the season, bang, 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 and then maybe you're just getting fatigued a bit, or something happens in that month. But I don't know what it was. And obviously Arsenal had a nightmare month in November to put them out of everything really. So it was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well,
go on.
I was going to say, how long since the end of the season do you get off before pre-season starts?
Well, Arsene Wenger always used to give us 4 weeks off. So if you go to a tournament level, wherever you're knocked out in that tournament, whether it's a World Cup, European Championships, you'll have 4 weeks because you need to recharge your batteries. You need to have family time. You need to go away with. But if you didn't go on international duty, sometimes you'll get 6 weeks off, 6 or 7 weeks off. So depends on when you finish the season. Usually May time, obviously first 2 weeks in May. We go back training roughly about July the 3rd.
And then what's the focus of pre-season? Is it just getting fit again? Or is
yes.
it like
No, believe it or not,
holiday
this is where football changed massively, and it was a shock to us, the older players. People you ask Lee Dixon, Nigel Winterburn, Tony Adams, all them sort of guys who was at the club with me. Under George Graham, it was go and find the biggest hill in North London. It was always Trent Park, and then we would run up it and down until you're sick or you can't breathe anymore. And that was our pre-season. You know, the first week we didn't see a ball. We didn't see a ball. It was all about getting yourself back into running and fitness work and whatever. When Arsene Wenger came in, we saw a ball the first day.
Really?
And do you know what he did? The first day we ended up running around the pitch about 5 times, and that was it. That was it for the day. And then we'll see you tomorrow. It was all like that. Was that it? What's going on here? Oh, I like this manager. He's all right. And then, in the afternoon we've done a bit of football work. So we did a bit of ball work, and then we'll see you tomorrow. So, was that it? We used to have double sessions of running in the morning, little rest, running in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And do you know what it was? And he's totally right. He's absolutely totally right. He used to have blocks of training for pre-season. So the first block is very easy because you're getting yourself back into the rhythm of playing and running and just moving. Because you used to say when you have your time off, enjoy yourself. You do what you like. You don't have to keep fit or play tennis. I used to play tennis or golf and stuff like that. And then the second block would be a little bit harder, obviously. But now your body's back into playing, so you ain't going to get many injuries now because we're gradually getting fitter. And then suddenly the third block was always really hard. I mean, we go on tour and we would work. I mean, we'd play games and we would work really hard. But by that time, your body, it's like you start the season again and you're playing. So he was very clever in that respect. It's not about being fit the first day of pre-season. It's about that last day of pre-season that your body thinks, right, I'm ready to go. Yeah. Next week, I'm ready for the season to start. And I was always 100% fully fit by that start of that new season, and you'll be running everywhere because your preparation has been so good during that pre-season area. Everybody's different in pre-season. Everybody does it a different way, but that was a way that I thought, I can see what he's trying to do here as Arsene Wenger.
Yeah. Do you know about the current team's pre-seasons? How that differs to your time back then?
Well, I'm lucky to go with the team on pre-season tours, and I do go and watch the training at times. Obviously, there wasn't one last year, so I didn't go and see Mikel Arteta's training. But I'd love to, if they do go on tour this year. Hopefully, I'll be on the plane with the guys, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what sort of training he does. Right. I saw Emre, what he did. He was a little bit overcomplicate things at times, if I'm being honest.
What's an example?
Well, it was just too much information for players. A lot of the time when I was training with Arsene Wenger, you learn patterns how to play. So Thierry was going off to the left winger sometimes would come inside, and then who marks who? The defender go with him, or does he stay? And then there's a space for other people, and it was all you knew exactly what happened if you saw the runners, and it wasn't rocket science. It was just common sense. This is right. If he goes out there, I come in and I can receive the ball, and then I'll turn, and I've got different options. And
what did Emery do too?
Well, it was just too complicated. He loves stats, but sometimes players they lose their concentration very quickly. I mean, I think you used to have meetings for 40 minutes and stuff like that, and people lose their concentration in 20.
100%.
And that's what Arsene Wenger was very good at, because we always train for 15, 20 minutes on one thing, what we want to do, and then he'd change it, and you're thinking it's totally different. Yeah. And he didn't go on for too long, because if you do half an hour, 40 minutes, suddenly it's like, the quality goes out of the training, plus the intensity goes out of the training, and that's what you don't want if you're a manager.
You mentioned that you go on the plane, well, when you can, with pre-season. What's your role? Do you speak to the players and do you try to motivate them? No.
I'm more there for commercial.
Okay.
But obviously, I know the players, and I speak to them, and we see them around the hotels and stuff like that, and they come over and have a chat and whatever. Yeah. But I'm there more commercially for the sponsors and stuff like that, and it's great because I meet lots of different people. I was lucky to go to Singapore, Australia. We went to LA the last couple of seasons ago, I think it's 2 seasons ago, and you meet the supporters that you never met, and they all know your era because we was very successful at that time. So it's great that you can see people in person and sign stuff for them because everyone had that opportunity. Yeah, everybody's got that opportunity to come to London and go to the Emirates and go to games.
Wasn't it Arsene's era that put Arsenal on the map around the globe?
Well, certain places it was. I mean, I've been to Ethiopia, and we're the biggest supported club in Ethiopia because I think they got TVs in 1999-2000 when we was very successful. Right, So it does work like that sometimes. Certain players will get you a big followings, like Kanu, Nigeria, and stuff like that. You got a lot of followers in Nigeria. You go to Asia, it's amazing around the world how big the Premier League is, and you imagine going to Indonesia and stuff like that. The games kick off. If it's an evening game, it's kicking off at 4 a.m. out there because of the time difference. But you still get lots of fans watching the games, and so it's great that you can travel to them sort of places and meet the fans and have chat to the fans in different ways. So I'm very lucky that I can do that now with Arsenal and to be one of their ambassadors, really.
That's cool. We've got a couple more questions coming in as well. We have got a question from Twitter. Was the mental side of the game important to you during your playing career?
I was always a very positive person.
Yeah.
And to be fair, things like Twitter and social media platforms, that was none of that about. Yeah, I'm being honest. But you can imagine it does affect players because you know when you've had a bad game. I can walk off, whether it's Highbury or wherever you're playing. I know when I've thought, well, I didn't play that well today. I don't need another million people to tell me on social media. Yeah, and people because football teams, everyone's different. Some people got really strong characters, some a little bit weaker than others. And I think social media sometimes can really upset a player and cause him to lose his confidence and belief. And You know, they do, because they do probably look at it, the players.
Look at Lingard as an example. He was struggling
absolutely.
at United, and he went to West Ham. And the pressure is off. You know, no one is making jokes about him anymore. It's definitely an element of the game.
But I think you've got to try and be positive. We had a lot of in our team, in our squad itself. We had a lot of like winners. You could sense it in training. You know, when we done an 8v8, it was lethal because the 8 didn't want to lose to the other 8, and there'd be tackles flying in, and Arsene Wenger would be like, "Whoa, lads, we've got a game.
Take it easy.
We've got a game tomorrow. This was on a Friday." So, but no one wanted to lose that game. So if you put them 16 players together, you've got to have a mental strength and you know, winning mentality, which is why it's a habit winning, and it's a habit losing as well. I promise you. And we couldn't wait for the next game. But I certainly believe mentally you've got to be strong. But everybody's different. Everybody gets ready for games differently. You know, some will be mucking about, some will be shout, "Come on, lads!" Some will be quiet. But whatever's best for you, you know, if it works for you, then you do it.
That's funny because the next question, again, from a Twitter user: did you have any pre-match routines?
Not really. I mean, what Arsene Wenger done, he didn't really get involved on match day. Believe it or not, Monday to Friday, he was brilliant. You know, what way we're going to play, tactics. On a Saturday, we'd have a pre-match meal. We go into a meeting room. Say just before we leave to go to the stadium, he'd do a little bit on a flip chart. Bang, this is bang, bang, bang. This is where the weaknesses are, and bang, 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 bang. And then we get on that coach, and he didn't really get involved then. We wouldn't see him till 5 minutes before kickoff. Right, because he would let you prepare how you want to prepare. He wouldn't say, "Well, you've got to do this, you've got to do that." No. Everybody's different, as I said before. Some will be keeping the ball up in the shower areas. You know, some will be relaxing. Some people having a massage. I always used to have a massage, probably an hour before kick-off, and then I put my strapping on. So it's all routine. It's all habit. How you get prepared for a game. And then I'd rub some oil with my leg, and just to get my legs going a bit deep sometimes. On certain bits of muscles, and it just, in the end, it was a habit what you did, and it just, you know, as soon as I got to the stadium, right, I've got massaged in, I'm gonna put my strapping on then, bang, bang, bang. 5 minutes, you're in the tunnel, ready to go.
It almost helps you to sort of not focus on the game.
Yeah.
And then when you're out there, that's when you start to.
Well, you focus when you're in that tunnel. I mean, you know, that's when this is when you got to perform, and this is. But again, if you know your job as a team, and everybody performs, then. Because we've got probably better players than the opposition, then we win the game. So again, it ain't rocket science. It's just like, make sure you do your job.
You mentioned before offline about how small the tunnel was at Highbury.
Yeah, it was very small. Right. Well, it was tiny. I mean, it was shoulder to shoulder. So if you was lining up like that to go out that way, we had to go on the half turn to let the referees through and the linesmen. So, you know, that's how tight it was. And sometimes, I remember an occasion when Mr. Dean used to always come in the dressing rooms about 10-15 minutes before kick-off and wish everyone good luck. But he had a really funny laugh. He was like, oh. Right, so we used to have a bet. We used to have a bet with the lads, saying, who can make Mr. Dean laugh? Right, so I always remember one occasion, I said, lads, right, I think I've got one for Mr. Dean this week. And Martin Keown has just been sent off. So everyone went in the medical room and we were waiting for him to come round. So he comes round and he goes to Dave Seaman, safe hands, good luck today. Dennis Bergkamp, he called him Maestro, believe it or not. Maestro, good luck, come to me. Raymo, I thought, blimey, I'm in the Sesame Streets or something. And I went, Mr. Dean, and it all went quiet. You know, and it's like, you couldn't hear a pin drop. I said, Mr. Dean, I've got a massive problem. What is that, Raymo? I said, Martin Keown, 3-game ban, we got to appeal, Mr. Dean. So he looked around, and Martin was like, oh, yeah, it's a good idea, yeah, we should appeal. I said, Mr. Dean, we want to win the league this year, we've got to appeal for at least 6 games. And he went, no, you're so funny. Martin was like, I'm going to kill you. But the lads were like, they see their faces. Anyway, we go down to the tunnel. We're going to kick off in 5 minutes. We're all lining up in this tunnel, and we're all like, oh, how funny was that? And the other team were like this. They're a bit confident, this Arsenal team. And we went out and we won about 3 or 4-0, I remember. And every single goal we scored, all the lads come together and we're going, oh. So silly things like that. And that probably took the pressure off us a little bit. And I don't know, it was just that moment where everyone was just laughing and it was funny. It was really funny.
I mean, especially in the tunnel before a derby game, being that close. To the
are we going to kick lumps? They're thinking we're going to kick lumps out of you, and we think we're going to kick lumps out of you. And that's how it was. Arsenal, Tottenham, especially.
I think of like.
But after the game, we'd all shake each other's hands. I mean, especially back in.
It's all over by then.
In the 90s, mid 90s, and we all go to the players' lounge and have a beer together.
Yeah.
And then you look at it, you see your brother going, "Hey, you just kick lumps out of each other." I said, "Well, we're playing for your shirt. They're playing for Tottenham. We're playing for Arsenal, and it's a North London derby, so that's what you've got to expect." But we're all mates, really. I mean, you're just being professional and doing what you have to do for the team.
Yeah, for sure. We've got another couple of questions, and I'll fire away.
Good. The questions are good.
Yeah,
going well.
Outside of Arsenal, is there a player that you would have liked to play with?
Well, you can look at the obvious ones, people like Messi and stuff how they play. I mean, I think Messi's more of a team player, isn't he? He's sort of player.
Put it on the plate for
probably in my era, we had some good players, and Manchester United was a team at that time. People like Ryan Giggs. I mean, what a winger he was! A little tricky winger. Yeah. Paul Scholes, excellent midfielder, wasn't he? In that midfield, Roy Keane, very important player for being a captain and leader. But you look at Ronaldo when he first in the Premier League for Manchester United, played against him, and what a player! I mean, pace and power, could do everything. But brilliant in the air. Yeah. You know, but right, left foot, he'd twist you inside out, and you know he was a top player. But probably you look at Messi, probably he's the one. You've got a chance of being successful with you in a team with Messi in it. Yeah. And what he's achieved in his career, what Ronaldo's achieved as well, and it's very, very, very unusual that you get two players so good in the same era as those two, because usually you get one, and then you'll have 5 or 6 quite a way behind, not massively behind, but a little bit behind. But them two, you could argue, you know, they're so close to how good they are and what impact they've made for their clubs. Then, you know, very rarely you do that. So if you had to pick one, I would go Messi. If I had to pick one.
Who do you think? You say, you know, Messi and Ronaldo are just incredible players. Who do you think the next Messi and Ronaldo will be?
Well, hopefully be English.
Yeah.
Foden. Yeah, I was just about to say Phil Foden. He's had a great start to his career. I'm really looking forward to Euros, obviously in the summer, to see if he can take his form from City into Euros. And England have got a very good squad of players. They really have. I think we've got a very good chance, especially if they get to semi-final, because we all know it's at Wembley Stadium and the final, so that gives you a big advantage. Yeah. But Phil Foden, I'd love it to be him. But obviously, expectation in England, we've always really talked players up, and then we try and knock them down when they have a nightmare. So I don't want to say too much about it. But at the moment, how he started his football career, and we all know he's a special talent. Yeah. And David Silva and training with De Bruyne and people like that is probably going to help him as well. That he could be sensational going forward. But he's 20 years old at the moment. I mean, it's incredible what he's achieved and how he's playing at this time at the moment. So if he can keep improving the way he is, I'm sure he will be right up there as one of the best in the world.
We hope that with Walcott, you know, him going to the World Cup at 16, I think ruined.
Yeah, I think the only problem with Theo was he's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
If I was a manager, I want players who are going to get 7, 8 out of 10 every week. I don't want a player to get 9. He might score a hat trick and get 9 out of 10. And then next week is a 4. That's not good for you, because you can't read what player you're going to get that day, and that could be the difference in losing a game or winning a game. You want the consistent ones of 7 and 8, and that's probably what he just lacked, a little bit of consistency in games. And hopefully Phil Foden, what he's showed so far, he seems to consistently do it, doesn't he? In big games as well. You know, Paris Saint-Germain just gone, and Champions League. Be interested to see what happens in Champions League against Chelsea. If he can perform on a big stage like that, then you know we've got every chance of having a top player in England, one of the best in the world, going forward 6-7 years.
Can only hope.
Yeah, we always hope, and he seems a good lad as well, and well-grounded lad, which is so important as well. Don't get too far above yourself as players. You know, stick to working hard. Think about how you got here in the first place. And I don't think under Pep Guardiola, I don't think he would let that happen.
No,
complacency. I think I've done it already, and no, keep working harder, keep training, keep trying to get better. You know, goal scoring, get your stats up, goals up a season, and stuff like that. And if you can keep pushing yourself, then you know he's got every chance, because he's got all the talent in the world.
I remember maybe it was last year and the year before when sort of Foden was coming onto the scene. Pep got quite a lot of stick for not playing him because he would go out to the media and say incredible, best player ever, and then he would bench him. But then it seems like he didn't allow him to get too ahead of himself.
Well, we was always arguing when I did my Talk Sports show that he might need to go out on loan.
Yeah.
But he never went on loan. He said, no, wait a minute, no. This might affect him if he goes on loan. We know exactly what we're trying to do, a plan for him going forward. And as I said before, you must be learning so much of people like David Silva and De Bruyne and obviously David Silva leaving, that gave him that opportunity to give him a chance. And I think everybody stepped up. Look at Sterling can't get in the team at the moment.
Yeah.
Who's a tremendous player. Mahrez has been sensational on the right hand side for City.
Yeah.
So
really.
Everybody steps up because they know how hard it is to stay on that side. If you play poorly, you're out. So you know the pressure's on you every single week to perform.
Yeah. They've got such a big squad.
Oh, absolutely.
One bad game and you can be rested. Couple more questions I've got coming through is 2 seconds. What was it like coming back to Highbury with the opposition?
Oh yes, my first game back, Middlesbrough, and I can tell you a good story about this one because the team was still unbeaten, and I think it was about 3 or 4 games into the new season. And I come back and we had a very good side, Middlesbrough, to be fair. And I was getting a little bit old, and the reason I didn't want to leave Arsenal, but I wasn't going to play enough because we had a youngster called Cesc Fabregas coming through. What a player! And I went to see Arsene Wenger. I said, boss, and he said, you will be involved, you will play a certain amount of games. But I said, I can't not play every week. I've only got a couple of years left in my career. And he went, the only one problem, and I said, boss, Cesc Fabregas, by the way, what a player. And he went, I know he's very good, he's going to take your position. And that's what happened, really. But I went back to Highbury, and we had Jimmy Floyd Hassel playing Viduka, Mendieta, Stuart Downey, Zenden, George Boateng in me, Gareth Southgate was centre half, Mark Schwarzer in goal. We had a decent side. But no, deep down you're thinking, I don't really want Arsenal to kick. I don't want them to be the team that beats them. And we was 3-1 up in that game. And we end up losing 5-3. And I scored 2 own goals. No, I didn't really. All the listeners, the viewers. But in the end, I run past Dennis Bergkamp and I went, Dennis, liven up. God's sake. And then he nutmegged me. I was like, And then, bless his soul, Reyes scored a cracking goal. And I think he got 2 in the end. And they beat us 5-3. And then they dress him after the game, and I'm a little bit relieved, if you know what I mean. I know that it would have been a great 3 points for Middlesbrough, and all the players were all dejected. What an opportunity!
Yeah.
But I went, lads, look, they're a good side. Don't worry about it. Let's worry about next week and get on with it. And I got on that coach, and I was pretty relieved that I wasn't in the team that beat Arsenal. And obviously, they went on to do it quite a few more times, beat teams, and it got to 49, obviously, didn't they? Which was an amazing achievement. And obviously, Man United beat them for the 50th game. Which was a shame, but what an achievement! 49 unbeaten, magnificent.
When you went back with Boro, did you not want to?
I walked in the home dressing room. I forgot where I was supposed to be going.
I'm back, lads.
I've done that so many times. Going in, obviously playing at Highbury, and I always go and say hello anyway to all the players, and all the players obviously were there, still there from the season before. Not many left that season. I think me and Martin left. We was one of the older mob. So, but it was great. I mean, I love Highbury and I love going back there. And it was a career move. I'd love to stay Arsenal my career, but I knew I'm going to regret not playing. And suddenly, I went to Middlesbrough, played every week, but then my knees started going again. I probably played too much football, which the only problem with Arsene Wenger, he would have managed your body a little bit better. At that stage, and probably I might have got another 1 or 2 years out of my career.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Well, we are gonna go on a.
We need to see the team, don't we?
Yeah. We'll go on a quick break, and just before the kickoff, we are gonna come back, have a look at the team, and then we are going to be reacting to the game as it unfolds.
Any predictions?
What is your game prediction?
I've gone for 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal.
And then I'll be hoping that Leicester can get a result against Spurs, and then obviously Arsenal maybe finish above them.
Yeah,
which would be great. For the Arsenal supporters. I know it's still been a poor season, but it's still something.
It's at least it's a silver lining. What about yourself, Charlie?
I've got to be optimistic and say at least 2-3-1.
They're not a bad team at Brighton. They'll be solid. They'll be hard to beat. And I really like one player who I'm going to keep a good close eye on today is Basuma. Yeah. I think he could be potentially a good signing.
We'll talk about.
Arsenal might look at someone like him because he's very efficient on the ball. He's a good tackler. He's really mobile, and I think midfield is so important that you be mobile.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how he plays today.
Yeah. There was talks of.
£35 million probably, roughly around that time. I think they bought him for 15, Brighton. So they've got a bit of a profit on it, and obviously he is stepping up into a bigger club. But I think he can do it. I think he's showed signs that he could be a very, very good player.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about
Can you top me up?
The lineup. We'll top you up. We'll top everyone up, and we're going to keep going with some of the questions.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic, everyone.
Yeah, cool. See you shortly.
Problem is,
we don't go nowhere with no money.
They're a sports enterprise, and they've got 4, 5, 6 big sports teams that.
It's like Blazers, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Okay.
They don't want to.
It's about to kick off, so just put the thing back on. Let me know when we are live.
Yeah, we're good.
We are good, so we are back. Cool. Thank you very much for joining us for the first half of the event, and now the game just kicked off. We're going to react to it live. First of all, we're going to go through the lineup. We've got for Arsenal Bernd Leno in goal, Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, Chambers. Then we've got Odegaard, Partey, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Xhaka in midfield, and then we've got Aubameyang in the striker position. What do we think of that lineup?
Well, the only one who's missing really is Saka.
Yeah.
Whether he's got a knock or he's, I don't know, he's trained this week, but if he's fit, he should be in the side, off the right hand side. So I should imagine. But
I think Pepe played so well against. Who did we play last?
Palace. Yeah, he did. He made a good impact.
But I think I would have put. I know Odegaard. I think Mikel Arteta likes Odegaard, but I would have found a position for Saka somehow. Whether Odegaard would have missed out, and then Pepe can still play. When Smith Rowe can play as a number 10, you can play him behind, and Saka can still play off one of the wings. But let's wait and see. Look, manager's made a decision. Xhaka's back in midfield, which is. He feels a little bit more comfortable in than left back. And Kieran Tierney, he's a massive player for Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think he could be potentially. He's a chance. Well done, Bob Holding. To be fair, Bob Holding's defending well at times. He's a solid defender.
Yeah.
But Kieran potentially for me could be captain material for Arsenal.
I like you say that.
I like his desire. I like the way he plays, and he always gives his. Look, every player should give their all every game, but he seems to really, go to a different level sometimes. So, I think he would be great. As much as, Aubameyang wants to keep it, but sometimes you've got to make big decisions as managers. And in training, if I saw something out of that player that can bring something forward, give him the armband.
When did Aubameyang get the armband? I can't remember the transition with Xhaka and Aubameyang, but. Maybe taking the pressure off Aubameyang might give that.
Yeah, and it's all about how you do it as well, though, because some players might get upset with it. Yeah. So you do it in a way that you think, you're just going to be a bit forward, and exactly what you just said, Charlie. Take the pressure off. I mean, try and take the pressure. You ain't going to lead, but you want you to score the goals. Yeah. Someone else is going to have the pressure.
Yeah, 100%. Who has been your favourite player this season for Arsenal? The standout.
Well, you've got the three you've got to look at is Tierney, Saka, and obviously Smith Rowe.
Yeah,
I think Saka would get it playing the season. I should imagine because I think he's been exciting. He's whether he's played left back, right wing, or whatever he's played, he's made a difference. So I think he'd be. But Smith Rowe would be not far behind him because he's made a big impact as well coming into the side.
Yeah,
and Tierney's. Like you expect, you paid £25 million, but it's money well spent for me because it's been a very good signing.
Yeah, very strong.
So you would be out of them, those three probably.
Yeah. Arsenal a little bit cramped in at the moment. Do you think there's nerves at this point, or?
Well, you shouldn't have nerves, should you? Because I know that you can come higher in the league if you win.
Yeah.
And Brighton are playing for nothing, so there might be an opportunity. That's a good ball.
Yeah, very good. Odegaard.
He seems to play him a lot, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
So I think he trusts him.
Shoot.
And obviously he was a really big signing for Real Madrid at the time. And
I remember.
He hasn't probably potentially done as well as he could, and he might need a change of scenery, which he's had now at Arsenal, and whether they keep him or they try and buy him, it probably depends on the price. What Real Madrid put on his head and say, well, he's probably not worth that much, or we can play Smith Rowe in his position and not pay that money and buy somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's what they've got to discover. What the best deal is for Arsenal.
Yeah, what do you think? Has he got the quality to come into this Arsenal side? And
well, he's done all right, and he's played most games. He's a little bit quiet in certain games, but I think he's done all right. He's confident on the ball, and
What price would you just go? That's just a bit too much.
Yeah, see, I don't
Especially
know.
It's difficult.
Real Madrid obviously probably need money as well.
Yeah.
In their position.
So,
what a ball!
That's what Smith Rowe does really well.
Good.
And that's why he can't play centre forward. When he plays as false number 9, he's not that runner. The midfield, and Odegaard obviously showed real good intelligence there because he saw the run. There he goes, boff, right into his path. First touch could have been a little bit better from Smith Rowe, but that's better from Arsenal.
So
but price wise, look, he's still a young man, isn't he? So whether Ceballos was talked about 20 million, he's going to be roughly about the same price as Ceballos. Really? A bit more, maybe more.
I mean, there were price tags of huge money for him.
But you can't.
Partey.
Oh, what a shot!
That would have been his first goal, was it?
Yeah.
But my brother and I always have a joke there.
All the crowd were waiting to catch that.
As soon as he gets the ball,
I don't know if you see it on Twitter the other day. I mean, it showed the Arsenal and Kieran Tierney in hedges trying to get a ball back. And some of the reaction was brilliant. Is that you getting Thomas Partey from shooting practice?
Yeah, that's it.
But I think he will get better, Partey. I don't think he's shown yet how good he is.
This could be.
What a shot again!
So I think he's going to improve, Partey. They might look at central midfield as an area where they might need to try and get a real good ball players mobile, and that's why I mentioned Basuma earlier.
Bringing players in, because Thomas came in January.
Yes.
Is there a difference as a
of course there is.
As a player?
Yeah.
Do you feel for the first half, that second half of the season that you join in January, is that a write-off season, or is it really difficult to get into the side?
You never know how a player's going to react when you sign someone. It's a different mentality, different country to live in, families, do they settle, and that's very important in certain players, that the families settle and they enjoy where they live, and the kids, no problems. And I think Di Maria going back to Manchester United, remember that time when his family getting settled, and suddenly he's left. But it don't mean you're a bad player, but you just don't, in your back of your mind, you're not concentrating enough, and there's other things on your mind. So I think Partey, he's had his injuries as well since he's come from Atletico. But when I saw him at Atletico, he was a top player.
He was
very, very good.
He didn't get injured at Atletico either.
No,
and he's had a few stints here.
Maybe it just shows you how maybe it's a bit more pacey in the game. Because I think if you look at the Italian league and the Spanish league, they build it up slowly, don't they? And then suddenly that final third, it's quick football, gives you an opportunity. But they let people have the ball, and it's not, the pace of the game is a little bit different. You get a lot more rest. You get a lot more rest in the Liga or Italian league than you probably do in the Premier League. It's a little bit more, 100 mile an hour sort of stuff.
I mean, did you see that stats yesterday? I'd see if I can find it, but they showed the sprints per game and per team. And there was like this cooped up little dots of like Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, blah blah blah. And then I was just like, what's so weird about this stat? And then you just saw Leeds like all the way up in this top corner, just to show how the
intensity.
It's just phenomenal.
That's the way Bielsa plays. That's the way Bielsa plays. Really high energy football, pressing. I'm trying to win the ball back.
It's phenomenal what he's done with it.
I think Man City have been a difference this year. Defensively, I know you talk about players being brought in. Ruben Diaz has hit the ground running, isn't he? Centre half. And, what I like about Man City is when they lose the ball, they hunt it down quickly and get it back.
The pressure on.
We all know they're brilliant going forward and keep the ball, and they can create chances, but off the ball, when they haven't got it, they're a different class. And that's what Pep Guardiola's brought differently to the side. There's a chance. It's a good tackle in the end.
Oh, well done by
Odegaard done really well.
The question relating to Thomas, as we talk about him, Lawrence, who I believe you've met him on he was asking a couple of questions at the other event with you.
Yes,
is Partey the new John Jensen?
Well, I played with John, and he was I remember why they bought him. I don't know if you're a bit too young, you boys, but going back to the Euros in '92, and he scored a cracking goal in the European final, Euros final for Denmark. And we always thought, we're going to go get a goal scoring midfielder, but in the end, every time he got the ball, the crowd were going, shoot, shoot.
Yeah.
And he didn't score. I played in the game when he scored against QPR. And, the reaction from the crowd was unbelievable because he played 100 odd games and couldn't score a goal. But hopefully Partey won't be like that because you need goals from everywhere. I mean, you need people to chip in. Look, if he scores three or four a season.
Yeah.
But from a deep central midfield role. Yeah. That's good because you got to rely on Smith Rowe to get 8, Odegaard to get 8, 9,
and Saka
9. Yeah, exactly.
Double figures.
But if you can get 4 from that deep role, then that's a good return, really. But he's not in it to score goals. But you still want.
It's nice
if he can score goals, it gives you a big, massive lift as well. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been lucky to score a few. I didn't score many goals myself, but when I did, the lift you get from scoring a goal is brilliant. And
I guess you've parted into that goal that you scored in the FA
Well,
Cup
when you think about it, I didn't score that many goals. I scored 2 hat-tricks. So I'm like, well, that should happen, really.
And that goal.
Oh, yeah, it's cup final goal. Yeah, that was a very important one.
I mean, I was thinking about Tielemans and his goal.
Oh, yeah, that was a good goal as well.
I mean, but you get to celebrate that with however many tens.
Yeah, I was lucky. And it was at the Arsenal end as well.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing atmosphere that day. I mean, Millennium Stadium, as much as you love Wembley and we miss Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
We went to Wales and obviously Chelsea got a big following as well. They had one blue half, one red half.
Yeah.
And the fans were having it was like a party. It was unbelievable. Obviously they've been up there the night before and they've all had a good time. And it was a really tough game. They had some good players in that era.
Yeah.
And we got to about the 70th minute and we was just losing our legs a little bit because it was a long, hard season. We still had a chance to win the league as well, so he didn't really rest a lot of players before games. And Chelsea had a couple of efforts on goal, and David Seaman made the saves. And lucky enough, we got the first goal, and then obviously Freddie scored a great goal as well. And it was a brilliant, brilliant week that was because 4 or 5 days later we go to Old Trafford and we win the league there. Silva and Wiltord scoring. We had no Henry, no Bergkamp in that lineup.
Yeah.
We had Carnu and Wiltord up front, and Sylvain was a very good player. Carnu was an excellent player as well, and that's what they had. Arsenal, they had 4 good strikers all the time.
Nice depth.
Always, but you played with 2 up front usually. This era, you're playing 1 up front, and you've got the number 10s, and obviously Dennis Bergkamp will be number 10 now if he's in my team if he's playing in this game.
Would you say you scoring that goal, that feeling that you got when you scored, is that?
My mum and dad. My dad's a big West Ham fan, and he was in the crowd, and my brother said he had a tear in his eye because growing up, it was always the biggest game of the season because it was live. It was the only live game. We were Match of the Day and stuff like that, but the only live game was the cup final. So we used to make a big thing in my household. To my mum would do sandwiches and my dad would have his beer. We'll have our orange juice, 3 boys. Close the curtains. The build-up was the best bit. Then the helicopters following the coaches, and then they get the big wooden doors come over at Wembley. The coach goes in, the players come on the pitch, the fans, all their flags. Oh, you was at home. Your eyes were glued to it.
Whole day build-up.
So to score a goal in a final, or to play in a cup final was an amazing experience. But to score a goal in one was a special moment, really, in our family.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want that back anyway.
We've got another. We were talking about just before we went on our break the Bissouma as a possible player that Arsenal are looking at. We've got a question from Alex. What changes do you see happening in the summer in terms of the ins and outs? We know that perhaps David Luiz and Willian are...
Yeah, that's what they've got to look at. They've got to look at, say, right, okay, highlight the people they want.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta. So I'm sure they'll be sitting down for many, many hours assessing what's happened this season.
Yeah.
And then saying, right, where do we struggle in the moments where we shouldn't have struggled?
Yeah.
What areas? And if it is centre midfield, then Leno.
Yeah.
If it is midfield or what their highlight, I mean, I think right back. I think Hector's not playing. He got injured against Chelsea when he came on.
Yeah.
He's not been playing as much on a regular basis now. Where they look at a good can you find another Tierney on the right hand side? I don't know.
Amazing.
You know, and this is where the job is hard, because the scouting systems around the world and countries, everybody knows all the top players, and as soon as Arsenal links with any player, the first price is 30 million, 35 million. You know what I mean? That's because they know they're desperate to get a player. That was Basuma's one of his prices. Yeah, I do like Basuma though. I think he's
very strong there in the midfield.
He's got good presence.
Yes,
and in central midfield you've got to have presence.
Yeah,
we had people like Patrick and
City
Gilberto and Pizzi, and I played midfield sometimes, but the presence is very important.
Yeah, we can see City have just gone 1-0 up against Everton.
De Bruyne
scoring. So Arsenal move up to 8th. So win now would move, if Tottenham result stays the same, Arsenal win would move them up to 7th.
So that Europa Conference.
The Europa Conference.
And then if you get in the Europa Conference, you deal with it. You just say that. I don't know how important they would take it, but you know.
Yeah, good ball.
Good ball.
That's been Pepe's
That's Dan Burn. It's a bit of a mixed match there. He's about 6'4", 5. Dan Burn, left back.
Yeah, well done by Tierney. Yeah, that Europa League conference. It's one of those that at the moment
I think the travelling will be awkward. I mean, I don't know some of the countries they'll have to go to.
Yeah, good ball.
It brings in a different European.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
I mean, we laughed that the Europa League will Wi-Fi password teams. Like, imagine what the conference could be like.
I just don't like the name of it.
Yeah.
When I think of conference, of non-league football.
You think
because a conference, the National League.
Yeah, on the League Two. Yeah.
National League used to be called the conference.
Yeah.
So I just think of that. It's an old. But look, if it happens, you want Arsenal to win. You don't not win because of that. You want Arsenal to win, go out on a high on the last game of the season.
Yeah.
And if it is that, you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure the club will say, well, okay, that's not our main objective.
Yeah.
But
it gives a chance.
Yeah, no, I said, but you can play the under 23s or a mixture of both. I don't know.
Yeah.
People coming back from injuries, it might do them a favour. Playing a game, so you know, if it happens, then you deal with the situation. Yeah. There we go. Score update. City 2.
2-0. Gabriel Jesus with the second. Let's see if Arsenal can.
Chambers.
Was he going to shoot? No.
Oh,
terrible. Ball. He could have gone to kick Tierney there.
Yeah.
On that far side.
Who would you, if you could pick any player right now, who would you like to see come to Arsenal? If you don't need to think about transfer budget. I mean, obviously, within a realistic
I think we should ask Charlie that. Who do we want, Charlie? Mbappe?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Mbappe.
Neymar.
I don't think that'll happen. Somehow. You've got to be realistic, haven't you?
Yes.
The situation and what happens. I think they need probably. I like Chambers. Chambers has been steady at right back. I think the spine of the team is very important for me.
Yeah.
And I think they might look at a midfielder, central midfielder, who's a ball player, who's mobile.
Yeah.
Alongside Partey.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Xhaka has finished or anything like that.
Think of your era with that spine. You had Seaman, Adams, you and Vieira.
Yeah.
Vieira.
At times I was midfield. I moved in when your legs start going, you're going to central midfield. A lot more than right wing or right midfield, because I used to have to run back and track back for Lee Dixon, and that's in our era. It was you sort it out on the pitch. If we get a problem on the pitch, we sort it out.
Leicester 1-0.
Is it Leicester 1-0?
Yeah, the penalty.
That's the 1-0.
I think.
That's made it very interesting.
And I can.
I like to look at the league table now when you see them.
Yeah. I can see some of the score updates. Man United 1-0 up against Wolves.
Is there any VAR or anything that we're waiting for?
Oh look, there's a few smiles and faces. So we go. There we go.
Score update. That's the penalty.
No, they're all laughing now. Look, we're going to come back to Scotland in the Emirates crowd. They're all saying we might come above Scotland, but there's a long way to go yet.
It is a long.
Whether it's going to be Harry Kane's last game for Spurs, we'll have to wait and see.
So you're saying that the players at this point
would
have a feeling, would have a sense of what's going on.
So it's 15 apiece. Look. The only problem is, still we need to win the game.
Yeah.
Because
goal difference. Yeah. Well, they had a shaky start, but they seem to be more in control.
They're playing better, but they're not really had a couple of opportunities, but not real clean cut chances, have they yet?
No.
Again, Aubameyang's not really done a lot so far in his opening 20 minutes. But look, it's early days yet, so let's give him a chance.
Yeah. What did you think of Aubameyang this season? A lot of people said...
Well, he's had his problems, hasn't he? I mean, he signed that contract, and people always going to say, surely it's not another Ozil situation.
Yeah.
And let's hopefully not. And people do lose form. It's all about working hard and getting back to scoring goals. But I don't think he's that sort of guy, though. I think he does care about the club and does his best for the club. Yeah. And let's hope he can get back to scoring ways. And I'm sure he won't be going anywhere in the summer. He'll be there next season, so let's hope he has a decent pre-season, starts well. But we all know what a good striker he is. I mean, the goals he scored, the record he's got, he's unbelievable. It's better than probably Thierry Henry's.
Yeah, I mean,
when he first turned up, I mean, the goals to games is fantastic.
And Aubameyang was in a January transfer as well. I mean, the problem with Aubameyang is that
where's his best position? That's the problem. Is it off the left?
Yeah.
Is it centre forward?
But what did he play for Dortmund, winning all those?
I think he likes it off the left.
I
think he likes it off the left myself, cutting inside and.
Because you think of how he started. Remember that?
But then there's a problem. Who plays up front?
Yeah.
Remember that pass through?
Lacazette is on the bench. We've got.
Lacazette always does a good job.
We've got.
I like.
Here we go. Here's a chance.
Yeah. What a ball.
There we go. Where's it?
Pepe.
No.
Just tried to flick it through the legs.
No good.
We've got Cedric, Pablo Mari, Bakayo, Saka, Dani Ceballos, and Nenny, Lacazette, Nketiah, and Martinelli on the bench.
See, Martinelli again on the bench. So
why
there'll be the changes. Martinelli, you look at forward if you need a goal. Lacazette and Martinelli.
Yeah.
Why do you think he waits? He being Arteta. Why do you think he waits till the 60th, 70th minute? So 70th plus minute to change Martinelli.
Well, they do a lot of managers do that. They have a time scale when the subs can be used. Yeah. But you're right. If it's not working,
why not change?
Change it at half time.
Yeah.
If you think we're lacking something here,
but he used to do that at the beginning of his tenure. Like he started changing players.
See, Arsene Wenger was very similar at times. He always waits about 65, 70, and then suddenly make changes.
Yeah.
Because it takes 5-10 minutes to get into the game.
You know,
you can run up and down the line and warm up, but it's not like the intensity of the game.
I mean, it's not like they're doing a lot.
Having a chat.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Sean is saying this may be one of those games where Saka and Lacazette comes on at the 75th minute and dominates.
Well, I'm looking at Saka, Martinelli, and Lacazette. Yeah. They'll be the three.
What do you think they're talking about? Josh Kroenke. Is that Vinay?
Well, at least Vinay. Obviously, I do travel with the team sometimes, and I've met Josh in LA, and when we went to there, and he's a good guy. He's saying, look, we want the best for the club. So, well, obviously, the fans need to see that. Yeah. Because the fans are the most important people. If I'm being honest, I said it so many times. Players come and go from Arsenal Football Club. Managers will come and go. Even clubs will people who own the clubs will come and go. But the fans will always be there through thick and thin. And win or lose, they will still support Arsenal Football Club. So they need to see that you're doing the best for the club. And at the moment, you could argue they're not doing the best for the club at times.
Great.
What were your thoughts on the Super League? On this Americanized.
The thing about it was that they didn't realise how strong fans are. Yeah. And there was no communication. It looked like the players didn't know about Super League. The managers didn't know. Jurgen Klopp come out and said, "Well, didn't know nothing about it." So really, I can understand what they're doing because over the years, FIFA and UEFA, it's all about how much money they can bring in, and they're taking it off the clubs, and the clubs are saying, "Well, we've had enough of that. We want to do it ourselves. We want to take the money. Why can't we take the money? What they take? We make our own league." But they went around it the wrong way. They didn't plan it well enough. They didn't communicate with people and and see what the reaction would be.
Yeah, and the structure of the Super League.
Yeah, exactly.
As well. It's not something that
football's all about merit for me. Yeah. You want to see underdogs doing well. You want to see people getting promoted, and there was no relegation. Yeah. What's that prove? Yeah. So if you're fifth if you're at the bottom of the table, what are you playing for? You're not playing for nothing, are you?
Yeah.
The problem is, there's from an outsider's perspective.
And it's like a cartel, isn't it? It's like a cartel. You're untouchable.
Yeah.
You know, whatever we do, we can do what we like, and no one can get in our little group and that's wrong for me. I want to see Wimbledon back in the day get into the Premier League, and I want to see teams improving and giving themselves a chance. And you couldn't play the Premier League as well, could you? How can you play the Premier League as well?
They would start.
They wanted to do a 20-team league or something,
like the NFL type thing. But think of the times when we got the FA Cup. Where what was the last team that did it? Spurs against Tranmere or someone.
You couldn't play the FA Cup. You couldn't play the League Cup. There's too many games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So all the smaller teams are missing out on playing Manchester United at Old Trafford, and they get a third round draw.
That was my point.
Yeah.
Think of Spurs heading off to that game, and that televised game for that tiny team. What that money means to them.
Football's a working class background.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, football's and suddenly it's turning into a different animal now.
You know, when you've got these big teams thinking that it's all about them, it's not.
No.
It's about how they got there, you know, and that's taking away from what is the essence of football, and thinking that they can have 20 teams break away.
But they will try and structure it again. You watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Smith Rowe's lost it. There's one. He's got problems.
Let's see, Tierney. Well done.
Tell you what, he done brilliant there, Tierney, because he didn't commit himself. He waited and waited, and in the end, it's really bad play. From the centre forward, because he's got to pass it quicker. As soon as he makes his move towards him, that's when he passes it.
That's Aubameyang there.
That was all right.
On the left hand side.
Oh!
Ooh,
Is that
good shot. Yeah.
He's getting better.
It's on target.
He must got a hat trick like me soon. Do you know what I mean?
Talking about Kroenke and the sort of European Super League, Sean mentioned that Kroenke owns a Premier League, an NHL, an NBA, and an NFL team. Combined, he's gone 47 seasons without winning with any of the teams that they have ownership in. Do you think that because obviously those American sporting leagues, they are closed leagues, he's got the wrong mindset when it comes to Arsenal and what the expectations are?
Yeah, obviously he won the FA Cup first season under Mikel Arteta. But you can't have that. Hopefully not. I don't know. I don't know what the mindset is from. They would. I could sit down with the dad in here, tell me, right, Ray, this is what I'm in it for. You know, it's a business at the end of the day.
It is, yeah.
And we all know that. We know lots of people got foreign owners, but you need to. The owners are back the club. Look at Chelsea. Look at how were they successful? Abramovich went, right, here's the money to buy some players. We've got Jose Mourinho in that first period. Leicester's another example, exactly.
I mean, that was amazing to watch the FA Cup. You know, that's an owner that really loves his club, especially
absolutely.
The tragedy that happened with his dad. But you know, that was an amazing moment to see that the owner has so much passion about his. You know, it's an investment. It's his baby at the end of the day.
And he's a very good manager, Brendan Rodgers. I think a lot. I know Spurs has been linked with Brendan, but I don't think. Why would you want to leave Leicester? The owner will always back you because of his father. You know, he knows the legacy of what he's done, his dad, and the tragic what happened. I don't think, you know, if he went to the owner and said, I need £100 million and maybe we can get in that top four every single season, I think the owner would give it to him. So what I want to see going forward is, you know, you have to start really what Abramovich done, really investing in players and you know, then it's all about recruitment, which is hard to get the right players in. Not every player is going to work out for you, but you know, if we can get 4 Kieran Tierney's signings in, then you know, we are going to be better. We will have an opportunity in that top 4, which is where the club needs to get to again. You remember Arsene Wenger's last bit of reign, top 4 wasn't good enough. We would die for top 4. I mean, I would say it'd be a fantastic season, top 4.
Yeah, we were 20 odd years of European football under
guaranteed as well.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the thing about
phenomenal.
Yeah,
and people underestimate what he did for the club, Wenger.
Yeah, and those were the years during.
But he should have probably left a couple of years before that. What he did.
But he did that during the years that you spent hundreds of millions on a stadium, and we were able to still do the transfer.
He didn't really make any transfers. He got away.
And yet we were still getting top 4.
I know.
And that just shows you how good of a manager.
I'm still waiting for his statue to go outside the Emirates. So I'm surprised that's not gone up yet. He will have one, surely.
Yeah,
I mean, he has to.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's the one where he was outside Man United, or when he was it Old Trafford, or was
he got sent off?
No, and he was standing up like
that. Don't know where to go. Because usually there's where'd you go? The tunnel's usually there.
Yeah.
And you walk up to the director's box, but the tunnel's in the far corner. In Manchester United, he's in the corner of the pitch, so he didn't know where to go. Whether he'd walk down the tunnel and go up the tunnel and come back, he don't know how to get to the director's box.
What do you think about Willock? He scored against Newcastle.
He's done really well.
1-0 against Fulham. He's scored again 7 in a row.
Was that today?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like Steve Bruce is getting the best out of him at the moment.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Again, that's what you've got to look at as well. Maitland-Niles, whether there's a future Arsenal for him. He's been on loan, obviously West Bromwich Albion, and Willock at Newcastle. And this is a big meetings during the summer. So right, where are we going forward? But is Willock part of this setup going forward? If he is, then obviously you've got to look at the Newcastle performances and how he's scoring goals like he is.
Yeah.
What about Reece Nelson?
Goal.
Go on.
Oh my God, off the line.
Is that over the line?
It's goal. No? Oh, I think he's saying offside. Oh, I thought that was over the line.
Let's have a look. He's missed a header there.
Yeah.
It was an easier header.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now there we go. Look, what's Partey's header?
See.
There we go.
Oh,
no, it's a little bit high.
Holding. I think it was over the line. Let's have a look.
Is it holding is off? Yeah.
It's over the line.
Now it's got to check. It's definitely.
It's
definitely
offside.
Yeah. What do you think of Reece Nelson?
I really like Reece. I think he's got all the ability, but what he lacks a little bit is self-belief. And I always say to him, I've spoken to him a few times. I said, you've got to go out there and think you're the best player. And,
he's shown glimpses of what he can do.
But he's just a little bit consistency. At the moment, he struggles a bit. But I think he's got excellent potential.
How does he get game time?
Well, that's another problem he got. You know, you can only pick 11 players, obviously, can't you? Yeah. Whether he goes on loan or this is a big decision for the manager, and this is why you pay the big bucks to be a manager to make these right decisions. If you make the wrong decisions, then you won't be in your job very long.
I mean, if you're Reece Nelson right now, I mean, he stayed at Arsenal for so long.
Well, you look at Smith Rowe and look at the impact he's made and say, well, there maybe isn't. There we go. Oh, now if that come off
is it a handball?
If that come off the defender,
are they still discussing it? They can't.
Yeah, but they didn't draw the line, so it must be obvious offside. But
they must have said it was a handball.
There we go.
Score update. Let's have a look. West Ham.
That's a big result. That's a big result.
It'd be nice to see them in European football. Actually, they're a big club.
They've been very good this year.
Yeah, the Lingard effect.
There we go. West Ham 6th.
Yeah. Yeah. And a goal here would move Arsenal up.
We need Leicester to score 3 now, and then get a goal difference down. 6-0.
Yeah. It is still 1-0 in the Leicester game.
I thought this would be a tight game, but they just need to get that first goal. And then Brighton have got to change their tactics.
Yeah.
They at the moment they'll be happy with a draw.
Yeah.
0-0 is a good result for Brighton.
Yeah.
As soon as you get that first goal, then they've got to change and try and get back in the game.
Yeah.
And then that's where it changes.
Counter.
You just hope Brighton don't get the first goal. Then there's a real big problem because he'd just get everyone behind the ball, defend well, get in positions for everybody, and that could be a problem.
The problem this season, it's taken for us to get a goal against us, for us to kick into gear sometimes, and it's horrible to think like that you need a goal for us to then step up a gear.
Well, you don't really want that, really.
Exactly, but there's glimpses in this game that we're moving forward, trying to move the ball forward. So that's always been.
He's been
part
pretty
of
quite Pepe, isn't he?
Oh, Pepe.
On the right.
Yeah. I mean,
I know he got them 2 goals against Palace and done well, but he's been a little bit quiet for me on that right hand side. You know, Saka would be a bit more energetic.
Yeah, another score update. That's
2-0.
Fornales 2-0.
Wow. You know, part of my gripe with Arsenal this season, it's just been too flat. A bit. You know, they're lacking energy, lacking forward movement. You know, my brother and I always joke about El Neni, who when he play.
Oh no, he's in trouble.
Well defended.
Holding again.
You know, with El Neni, he never passes forwards.
Yeah.
It's all about his. We always think it's about a ratio in his head. That he's thinking about that 96% pass ratio or whatever.
Well, there's never.
But he
doesn't. You can't look at stats too much.
Yeah, and that's what is so annoying.
You know, I can keep the ball for 99% of my passes, but I could go backwards and sideways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
so defender gives it to me, I give it back to him.
Yeah.
You know,
and so it's all about what forward passes. I feel, to be fair to El Neni, the couple of games I've seen recently, he's done okay in midfield.
But I called him a bit like a pump.
He works.
So if you think of a pump, it's just that there's water going this way and it pushed out that way. And I feel like that's a lot of El Neni's game. He gets the ball and he just passes it along.
Oh, he's probably not the answer now.
And you know, to move this team forward, we can't have people like that. I mean, he scored some great goals. He scored two or three great goals this season. But you know, think of someone like you mentioned, Basuma or someone in the middle that would just think about those forward balls.
Yeah.
And you know, I just want someone not to worry about their pass ratio and just start thinking, right, where do I pass forward?
Well, who remembers that game when we went to Man City, and I think it was Santi Cazorla from centre midfield. He was brilliant.
What a player.
And the possession was 70-30, 80-20 or something like that to Man City, but we won 2-0, Arsenal.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not all about possession, and it's what you do with the ball.
Yeah.
Is the most important thing, and as you rightly said, you know, forward was always taught. You know, usually forward pass you always think first, and then obviously if you can't go forward, you go sideways because you don't want to force it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you can't go sideways, you go backwards.
Yeah.
But so many players don't even look that. You know, when you pick it up in midfield, you've got to get it on the half turn.
Yeah.
So you know exactly the picture in front of you.
Yeah.
I saw
and so many people could just pass it. I mean, you square on, you just pass it back to them.
Yeah.
It was the City PSG game, the semi-finals of the Champions League, and the difference between how they play versus us is just staggering, because you know that you could see the desire to go forward.
Yeah.
You know, even someone like Kyle Walker or I think it was Phil Foden, who was just, there was PSG players all around him, and he was still able to just chip the ball over someone to go 10 yards forward. And it was that kind of desire to go forward. When Arsenal would just turn, pass back, and just go across their defenders like that.
Yeah, the thing about it is that, you know, you don't want to force the ball just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make sure it's on, but
it's
as
a
you rightly say,
ball,
if a forward pass is on, do it quickly.
Yeah. I've got a good question. Sorry, Charlie. Coming in from Sean. As a player, are there any distractions by the crowd that actually work, that they can do to distract you? Here we go, Liverpool.
Well, there's certain times in your career and games that you're having a bad game, and the crowd will be boo, they're having a go at you.
Yeah.
But you just have to try and prove them wrong, you know, and don't let it affect you.
Yeah.
But obviously they can really help you as well, crowds.
Oh.
They can really help you. I mean, they can be the extra man sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially the tight little pitches, and I know which is a little bit different, but when you played at Upton Park, West Ham, you know, crowd was right on top of you, and it was very intimidating and hostile. You know, when you go abroad in Galatasaray, and people, you know, the crowd got flares and they go mad.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it can be difficult, but I don't think you've got to try and block the crowd out sometimes. I mean, it's hard to do that. You just get on with your job.
Yeah.
It's great when you're winning games and you're playing well and the crowd are really behind you.
Yeah.
You know, it certainly can help you. Can you imagine Liverpool in front of the Kop when they was winning games, and you know, it must be amazing to play in front of crowds. But
as it stands, Chelsea are going. They will need to win the Champions League to play Champions League football.
Yeah, Chelsea are drawing it, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah,
they need 3 points.
They need a win there as well.
They might look back at it, and Tuchel obviously tried to tinker with the team against Arsenal.
Yes.
And come unstuck.
Yeah.
Aubameyang, come on.
Yes. It's better safe.
Good. Arsenal looking lively though. A couple of chances.
Yeah, but keepers not been tested too often.
No.
I mean,
they nearly tested each
other.
other.
Third needs a little bit more quality. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You know, they get into good areas. You know, but he's not really had clear-cut chances, is he? Aubameyang or obviously that offside goal from Rob Holding. But
I mean, Aubameyang last season, he didn't need clear-cut chances. He made chances out of nothing.
That's
we all forget that, and it's sad because he was so good last season, and near the beginning of this season before he signed that contract.
I think they know the result though. When you go in half time, you know roughly what's happening with the other games. You get a weekly.
Does do the players look, or does the manager come in and gives a bit of update?
I remember Highbury used to go in half time. Sometimes go into little rooms, see what the scores are half time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's important.
Yeah.
And then you go in the dressing room. Come on, lads.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, we've got a chance here.
Yeah. From a perspective of management during the game, when the stadium is full, it's difficult to hear. How much impact can a manager actually, from a tactical perspective, change during, like at halftime? Of course, you sit down for 15 minutes, you have a conversation.
The thing about, again, Arsene Wenger didn't say a lot at halftime. We more or less done it ourselves.
The players to each other.
Because if someone's having what you doing, you having get back, track back, don't let him runners, and people know. And it's all about games management, isn't it? I mean, it's all about seeing a problem on the pitch and sorting out the players sorting it out themselves. Yeah. You can't always look at the manager. Yeah. I mean, that's where you've got to have leaders and say, right, you get in that position now. Because they're all coming down the left-hand side and all their balls are coming in from the left. You sit on him for 10 minutes, weather the storm a little bit, and then we get back on the front foot and then we might win the game then. Yeah. If no one says anything, the guy keeps going down the left, and sooner or later he's going to put a ball in and they score from it. Yeah, as players you've got to realise that. Make the changes. Ain't hard, is it? Ain't rocket science. I mean, if say Pepe kept getting the ball on the right hand side now and he kept going around, you say the winger, come back and double up on him because he's causing us problems here. And then suddenly he doesn't do what he's doing, and you get back on the front foot. Yeah, let's see. Score update. Oh no, I told you he hadn't scored his last game. Yeah. Could be his last game. Yeah. Where do you think he's going to go if he leaves? Well, the only problem with Kane is what Tottenham do. Whether they price him out the market or not. If they say a price tag of 150 million or something like that, then I don't think Man City will be buying him, or Man United, and he could, because he's still got a 3-year contract. Yeah. So obviously Tottenham, I can see in Tottenham's point of view, they want the best money for him. But it's whether club's going to pay 150 odd million. Yeah. I mean, it's a big gamble. He's had a few injuries here and there, but he's been brilliant, isn't he, this season? He has. Assists and goals, and he's a proven striker. Yeah. That's the thing in the Premier League. Yeah, absolutely. He's an all-round forward, that guy. At the moment, they're in the conference thing at the moment. Yeah. Tottenham. Good luck to him. And that moves Leicester out of the top 4. So then Chelsea now back in for Champions League football. Well, Brendan Rodgers I know, and they're kicking Leicester. Oof. Quality. Little 1-2 there. Yeah, Smith Rowe again. He's got good running power, Smith Rowe. We talked about a player earlier, Paul Merson, that when he was at his really peak of his career, he was good little running with the ball. Smith Rowe reminds me a little bit of Paul Merson. It's just that 0 to, however quick they are, 0 to 20, just straight off the bat, they can get up to speed like that. This is where we can hopefully. Yeah. This is a good time to score now. So they're quite solid though, Brighton. Yeah, they're defensively very good. Years ago, I always said, when we were struggling for centre halves, I said, Lewis Dunk. Yeah, he looks... there you go. Ooh, off the bottom. That's surely a corner. It is a corner. Gabriel. Wow. He's been a good signing. He's coming into his. And we got Arsenal's got Saliba. I don't know. He's another player who can come back next season. He's still a young man. What do you think happened with him there this season? Well, obviously, he's leaving, isn't he? David Luiz. So that might give a space to Saliba to come back. And start games, and I've not seen a lot of him, if I'm being honest.
Whether he's the right player to take Arsenal to the...
Pursue my good defending.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of pressure now. This is the time. If you get a goal now, that team talker is a lot easier for Mikel Arteta.
Let's see.
Rob Holding, here we go. Nice pass again. Got good flick.
I always wanted to be a fly on the wall back when Wenger was in charge, just to see what you guys said at half time. But it's quite eye-opening.
He didn't really say a lot. He didn't say a lot.
It's eye-opening to hear that.
We could be 2-0 down. We come in, recover, and then we'll have water, and then we take these little pills to help you get ready, get your energy back or whatever. Nothing illegal, don't worry. And it was sometimes you have a sugar cube with something on it.
Well, like a donut.
Yeah.
And it just gives you a little lift.
Yeah.
I know I said you don't use sugar, but you just add a half, so it's just putting sand back into your.
Yeah. There we go.
And then 5 minutes before second half's going to start, then he said a few words. Right, get the ball down to blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And
so he's
second half.
He's the last person to talk before.
Yeah, he'd be the last one who's going to do his little speech. But there'd be players talking. If we're 2-0 down, what was you doing for the goal? And
right.
You know, all that sort of stuff.
There is that self-evaluation before.
But Wenger was a very, very clever man. I mean, he didn't like confrontation, and what he done very well was we'd always have the meeting. He wouldn't have a gut people after the game because he probably ain't seen it properly. And then meeting on a Monday morning, and every single player seen what's happened. Whose fault it was for the goal, whose fault it was for this, whose fault it was for that. And then Wenger started off and say, "What was you doing for the goal?" And it might be me, and you were playing alongside me, but I was covering you because you weren't doing your job.
Right.
And then that's how it worked. And then we have some big argument. We have a big argument, and we'll all shake our hands at the end. Don't let it happen again, and we'll go training.
I wonder how it's
very
changed
clever
now.
He's clever like that. Huh?
I wonder how it's changed.
Yeah,
now.
I don't know how he is now.
Yeah.
I won't have a clue.
Yeah. Did you ever have the temptation by any other club during your career to came in a window to try and nick you?
Not really. I mean, I got a chance to go to Spain once with Real Zaragoza when we lost in the final.
Yeah.
And the club was up in arms at the time. Stuart Houston was our manager. But I'm playing for my club I always wanted to play for.
Yeah,
and it's
so you were
a very successful club as well. By the way, I mean, 93, two cups we won, and 94, we won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
So it was still a very successful club. So why would I want to leave?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when you're playing at the top, you want to stay at that club as long as you can. It's like all the Man United players. Once you're winning trophies, how long can I stay here for?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Let's have a look at some of the halftime scores. So we've got 0-0 for Arsenal. Brighton, we've got 1-0 for Villa against Chelsea. 1-0 to Newcastle. Yeah. Yep. So that moves.
Is that late goal? I think that was
45th. Traore.
Wow. That's a big problem for Chelsea now.
Yeah. They've got 2-0 to Leeds against West Brom.
Leeds are another team who had a great season.
Yeah.
Really, really good season.
They worked so hard.
Liverpool doing their job at home, 1-0.
Yeah, Man City, as expected,
2-0.
2-0. Sheffield United beating Burnley 1-0. West Ham United beating Southampton 2-0. And Man United away to Wolverhampton 1-1.
All to play for still.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, I'm sure the team talk, half-time Tuchel's got to make a big team talk, 1-0 down against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So that's that. They need to turn that around if they can, and they know exactly what's happening at other teams and other clubs. Liverpool and Leicester, obviously, at the moment doing their jobs. Yeah,
especially when you go out spending the money that they've spent in the transfer window last summer.
It could become a disastrous season for Chelsea because they lost in the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
They still could potentially lose against Man City in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
And they could end up 5th.
Yeah.
And then they're not in the Champions League. It would be not a good season.
That's crazy when you see what they were. Just
I thought they was nailed on for the Champions League spots, top 4.
Yeah.
It just shows you that certain games when you make that mistake by resting players, or you can come unstuck. And that's why it's a great league, isn't it?
Yeah. Couple of questions in the halftime. If you could Frankenstein together the perfect striker, Whose right leg? Whose left leg? Whose head and whose brain would you put together?
Oh.
So let's start with the right leg, right foot.
Right striker. Only strikers, yeah.
Or put a perfect player
for
together.
right foot, I think, and he's a Premier League record holder. Alan Shearer, maybe.
Yeah,
that's a decent.
He's a right peg. Some of the volleys he scored, and he's always a great finisher.
Good
left leg. I'm trying to think of good strikers with left leg. Do you know who's had a really, really good season this year? Is Lukaku, Inter Milan. He's left-footed, more left foot based, isn't he?
Yeah.
Van Persie.
Oh, forgot Messi.
Messi.
Oh, we got to go Messi.
Messi.
I've more or less forgot the biggest player in the world. Header. Oh, who's good heading?
Ronaldo.
You don't see as many heading goals now, do you?
Well, Ronaldo.
Alan Smith. Lawrence's Alan Smith.
Alan Smith, yeah. He was a top player, Alan Smith. In my era, he would have been the best header of the ball for a striker.
We don't hear the end of it on FIFA. When
you don't.
Commentates.
I think he's gone out of the game a little bit, crossing and heading centre forwards.
I think Ronaldo.
You can go back to who's a great header of the ball.
Crouchy.
Noel Quinn back in the game. It's decent.
Crouchy being 7 foot tall.
Right, so head, and what else was it? Brain?
The brain, the footballing
for
brain.
me, I played with him, Dennis Bergkamp. For the brain, he was always, knew exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
The heading one is the one. I think you've got to go back into the old era of football, not this era.
Yeah.
To say that, because it was a lot more crossing, a lot more headers of the ball in the box, and if we had to stick with an Arsenal player, it would probably be Alan Smith, who's been right up there. He scored that. Well, whether it was off his nose or his head, I don't know. But that big goal against 89, wasn't it, against Liverpool?
Yeah.
To win the title 2-0.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
So terrible.
That was the chance. We're just looking back at a few highlights here.
Yeah. That was.
They've had plenty of corners, Arsenal.
We're talking about headers, and not one of them can make one.
Yeah.
Offside.
I would like to see it because to me, he
is offside.
I think they were saying
he was just trying to run back. I think it was the guy who cleared the line was running back. Just got lucky.
What do you think of VAR?
I said to Alan Brazil, this is a chance. Who I do a breakfast show with in the morning and talk sport. I said, we ain't gonna have nothing to talk about now because all the decisions we correct and we ain't gonna be able to talk nothing. But it's been even better.
Yeah.
How many decisions they've made wrong, haven't they?
Yeah.
And the problem you have, who's making that final decision? Because as soon as the guy in Stockley Park says to the referee, I think I'll go and have a look if I was you. That's a doubt in his mind.
Yeah.
He's more or less saying you got it wrong. Really. Now,
it's the context.
Why do they slow it down so much as well? Because when you're refereeing a game, it's got to be. You've got to do it. You've got to see it at the real speed.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that. I said you can go and have a look at it again, but make sure it's the real speed.
When you slow
it down,
it looks worse.
Just call and football's not played in slow motion.
What was
so there's a lot of improvement needed.
Yeah.
But it's not going to go away. The most important thing for now is getting the clubs to understand what the rules are. Because at the end of the day, what is the rule? What is the handball rule? I don't really know, to be honest. So everybody knows exactly what the rules are.
It changed mid-season because
everyone was getting penalties.
Have a big meeting. Let the referees go around every single club and say, right, how can we improve it? Or do a massive meeting with one person from every club. And have examples how we improve it. So there's been a couple of loads of examples this year where it's been wrong, probably, like sending offs. There's got to be a footballer involved in it, an ex-player maybe, who's going to look at the send-off and say, well, no. In a heat of the moment, I would have gone for that ball as well. And a bit of common sense sometimes. I know the rules says you should be sending off, but common sense is needed as well at times.
Yeah. Like was it the Son moment when Man U were playing Tottenham, and you've got that arm lash out against Son's face.
McTominay.
And
the goal was disallowed.
He falls down. The goal's disallowed, and then Tottenham score.
Yeah.
And so suddenly a game that was going to be 2-0 is suddenly 1-0.
Yeah.
And you just think that would
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you get down to 10 men as well.
It's difficult. All right, guys, we are just gonna go on another quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna do some giveaway. We've got some Arsenal balls that are going to be signed by Ray Parlour himself to give away to all the viewers at home, and we're gonna hear from Ray as well, who your team of the player of the season was.
What now? Or
after,
later?
After the break,
Okay.
when the second half kicks off. So we're just gonna go on a quick break, and we'll be back for the second half.
season, isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out of them too.
Yeah.
And then quick.
But really, Harry Kane though as well. He could go golden boot and assist his dad.
I know.
He has been brilliant.
Who do you think's going to win the Euros? It's a tough one. Portugal, England, those
I think England.
are great teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not England?
It's a young squad.
You never know, do you?
You
never know.
It's a young squad, but maybe that will help them, because when they had the sort of more experienced players, it just never really worked for them, did it?
He's got a little bit more urgency needed in his first second.
Yeah. Tell me when we.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Cool. So we are back.
Are we?
For the
right.
second half of the game. As it stands, Arsenal are in 8th. We've got Tottenham in 7th, West Ham in 6th, Leicester in 5th, Chelsea in 4th. So we've got Charlie coming back as well.
Where have you been, Charlie?
Yeah, where have you been?
You're Danny off licence. Danny off licence.
He's ran down for.
He's got to get the curry ordered.
But yes, let's Ray. Tell us about your player of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really strange season for me. I mean, some of the early results.
Yeah.
Liverpool conceding 7 against Villa and Spurs beating Man United 6-1, and there's some really indifferent results what you would never predict. So I think it's been hard to predict stuff. But players wise, I think it's out of 2 players for me. We could probably put 3 in if you're going to put, if you had a first, second, first. Yeah. Harry Kane is, again, he scored today against Leicester, and he's on course for the Golden Boot, which will be a great ending if he does leave in the summer for another club. Yeah. But probably the 2 main contenders would be Ruben Diaz, who's come in, obviously paid big money for him, 60 million, so you expect him to be a good player, but what he's done for that back 4 at Man City has been superb, really has. And John Stones has certainly benefited from having him alongside him. And, the full-back and the defence looks really solid, a little bit like Van Dijk did. Yes, for Liverpool. He made Robertson a better player. He made Arnold a better player. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yeah. But I think the biggest impact made, and I mean, I think Manchester United, if they didn't have this player, they would have been second. They would be, fighting for probably a European place, a Champions League place. Yeah. It's Fernandes. I mean, around in all competitions, he's probably about third or second in the all, assists and goals and.
Oh, Pepe!
Yes!
Get in!
Just as I say that, and I'm sure the fans will be delighted with that. I said he had a pretty quiet first half. Yeah. But certainly a great finish. Yeah. First touch, left foot, right foot. Yeah. Smashed it hard and low. And as some of the supporters put Conke out, they put it up in the air. As he scores.
Get the message across.
And at the moment, it could be Arsenal coming above Spurs, which would be, I'd never, and down my local pub as well, we've got a lot of Spurs fans, I've had a few bets with them that we come above them this season. Yeah. So I nearly paid them out about 2 months ago.
And in November.
So I'm glad I did.
In November, what a ball! And
good first touch, great finish.
Great finish. Is that Chambers? Was it Chambers that one?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
He's done okay right back, Chambers. And it was a brilliant finish though. It sets him up
with his right foot as well.
Half volley on the half volley as well. The instinct. Now this is a better angle. So look, first touch off, and then hits it on the half volley.
Brilliant goal.
That's a great goal.
And he's hit it hard and low, and again coming off 2 goals against Palace, so he's in good form, and that's why he probably left maybe Saka out and play Pepe today.
Oh, my brother would be screaming right now. He loves Pepe.
He's been a little bit indifferent, isn't he? I mean, I know he had a big price tag on his shoulders when he first turned up, 70 odd million, and people said, why didn't he survive Zaha? But the deal was that they can play the French side 10 or 15 million a year. So over 5 years, it's a plan where if they bought him probably outright, he wouldn't be able to buy Partey or other players. So that's why they made that decision. And Crystal Palace, obviously, they bought Zaha, they would have had to put it all up front. Because they got to replace him. So that's why the deal was done. And look at that. We see the table now. We are in the conference now.
How do you feel about
that? Conference. Which, as I said before, it is what it is. But I'd like to see the Arsenal above Tottenham. That's a better news for me.
That's the main thing.
And if it means getting in the conference, then brilliant.
Yeah,
I think.
But it's a long way to go, and there's a chance here for Brighton.
No, that's a good start.
No, wide.
I might go to a throw-in. The only thing with Pepe was his, as you said,
he's a substitution. He's coming on half time, isn't he?
You like the you like the players that are 8s and 8s, or 7s and 8s, and Pepe's a 9 and a 4 player.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
That's the problem. Consistency is so important in football.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you'll get from that player every single week. And don't get me wrong, you can't play well every week, but you still put some sort of effort in and do something for the team.
Yeah.
There you go, Partey Lewis lost it in midfield again. See, Brighton, you've got to be
This
careful.
will fire them up, but now this is Arsenal's chance to have a bit more.
He's good at. Xhaka's very good at that.
That is my.
How he falls over
Xhaka move
and lays on the ball.
There's 3 things inevitable in life.
Well, Xhaka getting booked usually.
Death, taxes, and Xhaka falling over the ball to get a free kick.
Yeah, and then he falls on it though and catches it. So the referee's got to either give a handball to the other team or they give the free kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, I never understood that actually. Players always fall over, and before the ref even blows the whistle, they just try to grab the ball.
Yeah. It'd be good to see a referee say no handball. We want a foul.
Yeah.
But very rarely you get that.
Yeah.
Track back.
And looking at quite lively now, Brighton since the goal.
Yeah.
He's quite a good little player.
Holding's done that a few times this season. Get up.
Always pushed him as well, a little bit of afters.
Yeah. Emotions. How I mean, from Brighton's perspective,
He's not quite lively though. Who is it again?
Connolly.
He's lively since he's come on.
From team's perspective, that can't really move anywhere really. Like take Villa for example. Regardless what the result is today, they're going to stay in the same place.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is this crowd.
Yeah.
Now, because they haven't played in front of any crowd all season, now suddenly the home teams will be going, oh, come on, let's put a little bit of a show on for the crowd.
Yeah.
If anything, we can't come no higher, can't go no lower, so let's go and enjoy it and try and entertain the crowd a little bit, because we haven't seen a crowd all season. So I think that's what, today's like Arsenal, I know they can go up and come above Spurs and,
come on.
Great ball.
That was a brilliant ball. And that's where it's good.
Put that away. Penalty? No penalty.
Wow.
It's very similar to the other one. He just didn't get the other one at the other end.
Yeah.
And I think he did go down a little bit easy.
Yeah, I thought he could have shot.
I'm talking about going down easy.
We should see the replay of this, isn't it?
Yeah. Whilst we wait for the replay.
Think of the VAR problems we've had at the beginning of the season, where you just get the tiniest, and then that you're getting players searching for that, and trying to trick VAR because they know they slow it down and look for the tap, and that's part of the problem. How you go around.
Well, I think we had a very harsh one in Villarreal. Saka went down a little bit easy. But we got the penalty. And some players do go down a little bit easy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that sort of player though. I'm not saying he's going to go down.
Yeah.
That's almost gaming the system.
At one stage, it was if your ball hits your hand, it's a penalty.
Yeah, they changed it.
So I'm running towards a defender. I can just chip it into his hand. It's a penalty.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit behind him. Ooh.
Yeah.
What happened?
He's done well with the defender.
Yeah.
Lallana. He's on half time as well. Did he start?
I think he came on. Let's just have a look at the substitutions at half time. We had Lallana come on and Connolly come on.
Trossard's.
Yeah, Trossard's off. Question from Eric through the live stream. Do you believe that Arteta is the right manager for the job going forward?
I think you've got to give him a chance. I think a lot has happened this season. Again, I talk about players moving out of the club, hard work, getting, and I want to see a good pre-season. Yeah. Recruitment is going to be so important as well during the summer. Yeah. But I think he deserves a little bit longer. I don't think Arsenal are known for sacking managers. They give people a chance. I think everyone got a chance. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Let's
go 2-1.
So that means
2-1.
That means.
I could be collecting them up.
And now Chelsea moved down to fifth.
So the fans, you're showing pictures of the fans. They know exactly what's going on.
There we go.
Tottenham 8th.
You've got to win the Champions League then.
And I could be collecting down my local pub as well.
We've had a question earlier actually. What's your opinion of Tottenham? You must have Tottenham fans as friends.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, they've got the new stadium, and it's whether they can give it. There we go.
Oh, Connolly. Well defended.
Yeah,
Holding's been decent.
He's he's turning into trouble there. What's he doing?
Yeah. Oh man, it's 3 times he's lost the ball in the last 10 minutes.
Lallana.
Yeah, with Gabriel.
Well done.
But they're certainly having a go now.
Is that Bissouma?
But Tottenham, at the end of the day, it's a club that in North London, and we always probably had the better of Tottenham over the years. That wasn't our big game. It was for the fans because it's North London derby. Yeah. But our big game was Manchester United. Yeah. But they've got a new stadium now. The stadium is magnificent, I must admit. I mean, I've been there and it's fantastic. Yeah. But it's all about, can you pay for the stadium and pay for players, because obviously they need a big uplift of players as well. Yeah. Because the league doesn't lie, and it's really weird to see both North London clubs really struggling. Yeah. At least one of them do well. I mean, Champions League a couple of years ago, Tottenham got the final, Pochettino. Yeah. Obviously, he gets sacked, and Mourinho was the man to get him a trophy.
Big ball.
Ooh. I was really shocked that they got rid of him before the final.
Well, I heard that they got rid of him in case he wins, then they
much money.
More money. Yeah. And they just thought, why not?
One thing about Arsenal is they don't know how to see a game out. They don't know how to really get that second goal, or if it comes into the last 8 minutes. Just suddenly put it in behind the fullback and get thrown in the corner. Waste a bit of time. They don't know how to do that, Arsenal. They'll always give you a chance to get back in the game. Always. Yeah. And that's why I worry now. If they don't get the second goal,
then there's
they'll
always
drop off.
a chance.
It gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and suddenly, Brighton might have a few chances to get back in the game.
Well, once we wait for the next action, I'm gonna get Ray, if you don't mind, just to sign a couple of balls.
Yeah, of course.
And we just want to give these away. Ooh, let's have a look.
2-0 Villa.
And Villa are up 2-0 against Chelsea. It's not looking good for Chelsea at the moment.
You might get sacked now, Tuchel.
Can you imagine?
Get Frank Lampard back. Frank's favourite to get the job back.
What a touch by
Corner.
Well, I didn't expect that, because in my prediction, I had Chelsea to win. I thought they'll still do the job. Yeah. Get the job won. Game one. But it just shows you this Premier League is so, you just can't call it sometimes. Who scored?
Traore, the first one, and the second one, El Ghazi.
Penalty.
There you go. And that's crazy. I thought when it comes to the last game, Villa don't have anything to play for.
Man City 3-0.
Man City 3-0. Yeah, Man City 3-0. Let's have a look who scored the third one. Phil Foden.
There we go.
Jesus and
what player?
De Bruyne. There you go. Right. Well, whilst we wait for hopefully Arsenal to go 2-0 up, we're gonna get Ray to sign a couple of balls. And within the chat, we've got 12 balls to give away. So we just want all of you to comment, whoever would like to receive one of these balls, and we're just going to do some random draws at the end of the event. Charlie and Ray will take one. So we've got 10 balls left. So we're just going to get a couple of these signed. And if you would like to get one of these balls, then please just drop a comment into the live chat, and then we'll be doing a draw after the event. There we go. The score update: Villa 2-0 against Chelsea.
So Chelsea at the moment in fifth place.
They need Champions League football. They need to win the final.
A draw's no good for them. If Leicester win, draw's no good either.
Against City,
no, it's not.
Well done, Jacka. You've done well there.
There we go.
Good plays. Right now, come on.
Come on, Pepe.
Have a shot.
He's only got
one. There we go.
That's the Pepe where we paid £70 million for. Suddenly he's performing now. He's doing it.
He's
a little bit late though for the season, but he's still doing it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he can take that into the confidence to next season.
Very, very good composure.
Yeah. He's done that.
And he just slide it in. That's why you play guys on the right hand side who are left-footed, because they can come inside, and that's when they
with the inside.
Yeah.
He's done that pass finish a couple of times now. Yeah. Where he literally just passes it in. Do
you know who's done really well in his build-up was Xhaka. He won the ball back in a tackle. Yeah. A good ball on that right hand side.
Brilliant.
From Odegaard. Yeah. There it is. But this is great composure. This is the guy that just scored and
through
his legs.
He had one thing on his mind, didn't he?
This should show you through the defender's legs. There we go. Through his legs. Great finish.
Yeah. Do you think Pepe has played enough this season, or do you think if he would have got more chance?
Well, I think he probably, as Charlie says earlier, he's a little bit inconsistent, isn't he? So that's the reason why he's been in that team, probably.
Yeah.
If you can do this every week, and you're not going to score 2 goals every week, but if you can be a real big factor,
make the contribution,
and he would be playing. He would be playing.
Giving you some balls.
He would be playing on a regular basis.
So 2-2 now, 2 goals in 2 games.
So 4 goals in 2. Very good. It's what you want from a player that costs you quite a lot of money.
At one stage, that was the problem with Arsenal Football Club, is that when Aubameyang didn't score, you had no one else
to do that,
doing enough of goal scoring. And Aubameyang's not always going to score, so you need Pepe to pick up.
Exactly.
You need Smith Rowe to score goals.
Lacazette scored.
Odegaard needs to score a few more.
Thank you.
Lacazette scored like 15 goals or something this season too.
Guys, we've also got a couple of scarves to give away, so we've got actually 3 signed scarves as well. So we've got 15 items to give away. Please comment if you would like to receive one of these signed Arsenal memorabilia. I'll give that to you as well. I'll just stretch it out.
Oh, do you want to go blue?
Just do it blue. It's
better.
almost better than the...
There you go.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And we'll get some more stuff, some more balls signed later on. But yes, if you would like to receive one, please just drop a comment into the chat.
Well, at least we're winning. We've done the job second half. The team talk been a good team talk so far, because they've come out and responded.
Yeah, they probably looked at Tottenham drawing 1-1 at half time.
Yeah, they're losing now, so that's even better.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at some of the other games. Man United still 2-1, West Ham still 2-0, Sheffield 1-0 to Burnley, Man City 3-0 to against Everton.
Liverpool 1-0.
Yeah, Liverpool 1-0.
So that could, Palace can get a goal somehow.
Yeah.
That would change the dynamics of the top 4 as well, wouldn't it?
Well, if Liverpool lose, then...
But Liverpool are very good. When they get in front, they keep the ball. They see games out. Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, before Van Dijk came in, they had to outscore the opponent. It was always, I need to score 5
goals. It's really weird with Liverpool, because recently they've had the 2 youngsters at centre half, haven't they? And at one stage they had Fabinho and Henderson. So I wonder if Jurgen Klopp looks back and says, why didn't I put the youngsters in earlier? Because I think they give more to the midfield. I think they lost a little bit in midfield when they put them back.
Yeah. We've had a comment from Sean. You'll have to give me a beer shower if Arsenal win 2-0 and they go ahead of Spurs. This was actually, he commented this before the game started.
Beer shower? What's that?
No, I have no idea. I don't know what they do.
I don't want to wash me out with beer.
I'd rather drink it.
I don't know what he means by that. I'll be doing a Cobra bomb when I get home. if they do come back to Tottenham.
Is that your invention? Cobra bomb?
Yeah, how it works, it was, the first lockdown, obviously we had lovely weather and I was sitting in my back garden and my mate said, Ray, we're supposed to be going on this stag do, or one of my guys down. I wasn't going on the stag do, obviously, but I knew the guy in his little crowd were going on the stag do. Yeah. And he said, would you mind doing like a live, like a video of us all having a drink in the same garden? And obviously Zoom's very important during the lockdown, wasn't it? Yeah. So what I did, and I don't mind Jaeger, but I don't have a lot of them, if I'm being honest with you. They said,
good save.
We had to, you put, obviously Red Bull usually, didn't you, with a Jaeger bomb?
Yes, yeah.
But I thought, I don't want Red Bull really. I mean, I think a Cobra would be better.
Yeah.
So I put that just for a laugh as beer in there, and people suddenly started going mad. They loved it. So it's not a bad drink as it goes. It's like in the old days when you used to mix cider with different stuff and lager, and it's a little bit. So I do them every week. I do a few shout outs every week for guys and birthdays and bits and pieces, and I just hope it gives people a lift. That's all. I mean, because
it's a nice
we all went through it, didn't we? During the lockdown, and there's lots of people out there who would have had their birthdays, and and they couldn't celebrate, and so I just done it for a bit of fun, really. And it seemed to get bigger and bigger. Yeah. And in the end, I couldn't. you know, my daughter was helping me do all the names, and it was loads. I couldn't fit them all in because it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of fun, and I carry on doing it.
Let's have a...
I wouldn't say I do it every night though. You know what I mean? It's only the weekends. I'm getting too old now to drink every night.
It takes a while to recover.
Yeah, a little bit by me as a footballer as well. As you get older, it takes longer to recover from a game.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's exactly the same.
What age did that hit you?
Any time after 30, really. Especially if you're a midfielder. I was I'd run around a lot, and I was doing like 12k a game as a normal way of running, or 11 and a half plus to 12. And it does take it out on you in the end. It's like an old car. Things start going wrong in an old car, so same as a body.
Yeah. Good sprint, good amount of running.
It's all the recovery though, it's all the recovery.
Yeah.
Well, midfield you have to be. I got brought up being box to box. You know, you wasn't a holding midfielder. You wasn't this, you wasn't that. I want you to get forward and defend and get back.
Come back.
What was your?
My idol was Brian Robson. Brian Robson was the one I really looked at. He was captain Marvel, England. You know, obviously played for Manchester United, but he was the complete midfielder for me.
Yeah.
He was the one who could score goals, tackle, could pass, all round.
Oh, that's
done it.
Dirty challenge.
What was your recovery like? What did you do to recover after?
Well, we always done,
ice baths and that.
Yeah, you had a bit of that. But we always come in. So we were playing on a Saturday, and we had a game on a Tuesday. We'd be on a Sunday. The lads would come in on a Sunday. So the ones who didn't play would train as normal.
Right.
And then the guys who played, so the 11 who was out on the field, would go and do a warm down, which we get on the bike for 20 minutes. And then we do a stretching routine for about, for half an hour, 40 minutes, as you imagine. And then we'd have a massage. You had to have a massage, just to keep your body. And I used to love a massage anyway, I try and have one before training as well and after. Yeah. But I didn't mind hanging around. I wanted, and training ground was a nice environment to be around. Yeah. I didn't mind.
I mean, so none of this like cryogenic, like pressurized.
We didn't have all that. We didn't have all that.
Aubameyang is through. Oh,
goodness.
Yeah, we didn't really have that at that time.
Would you have tried it?
I think you try anything. If you think it's going to help you and recover, and you'll be able, fitter next game, then why not? I think you got to try. I was very open-minded about anything. I think that we used to have the doctor come in, and he used to like put his finger. It was all pressure points in certain bits of your body, and you know what? You felt a lot better when you come out of it. And the older boys, especially, they'd always say they prolong
brilliant play.
Oh,
Pep. That's what he's trying now.
He's trying to chip it over the keeper.
Well, chip it over what?
Exactly.
Chips over time.
That build-up was almost like the Norwich one, where they just did the tick 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 tick.
It's a shame. He should have smashed that with his left foot.
Yeah.
Wrong decision now.
Yeah.
Because the keeper went off his line anyway.
Yeah.
So you got to put your laces through that one.
Yeah.
He's trying to.
But yeah, it was. But recovery is very important in football. Yeah. So you're ready for the next game.
In the backroom stuff, has that changed much since are there still any?
They've all changed really. I mean, coaches bring in their own coaches, managers bring in their own coaches,
their own team.
So they changed, but the physios are not there anymore. I had Gary Lewin, Colin Lewin, who've got their own clinic now in East London. But things do change. That's what I'm saying. People come and go in football teams, but the fans don't. They're the ones who always stay. In generations as well. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah. Everywhere else is still the same score.
1-0.
So we're still in the conference
1-0 to Liverpool still. Chelsea are losing and Leicester are winning 2-1.
So there you go. There's Saka coming on.
So who's going to come on?
70th minute. It's always the same. Bang.
Now this is where I would get really the hump if I was a player. I mean, if he takes Pepe off now, and you're on a hat trick, it's very. It's not easy to score a hat trick, and last game of the season, might as well keep him on. I hope he doesn't bring him off because he's got a chance. To get the match ball and go home with 3 goals.
Yeah, and as Eric is saying, I
bet you, he takes Pepe off.
Well, yeah.
Or would he take off?
Or for Saka.
Or Smith Rowe might come off. I think Smith Rowe might come off. Odegaard's been better in the second half.
Yeah.
He's done okay.
And playing in front of the fans again, Pepe will for sure want to stay on and get that hat-trick. Yeah.
Especially you're playing for nothing really. I know that you shouldn't lose the game from here. Going forward.
No.
So keep him on. Look, Brighton have got. If anything, they're going to score another goal. Arsenal looks like. So Pepe's got a chance of scoring that goal.
Yeah.
Unless he scores now and then goes off. Oh, come on, Aubameyang. It's terrible.
No Chambers. He's done alright, right back Chambers. He's a steady little player, isn't he? He's had his injury problems, but well played.
Back.
No.
Shame.
Good play by Aubameyang.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's been more lively second half.
Yeah. One of the biggest questions we saw, and it's not related, but Euros for the England squad, the right back position.
Oh.
What do you think?
I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will get in the squad.
Really?
Yes. And it all comes down to Gareth Southgate, what formation he wants to play. Now, if he plays with a 4, then Carl Walker, I should imagine, will be right back.
Yeah.
If I'm guessing. But if he plays with 3 at the back,
and with the 2 wingers,
Walker could be one of the centre halves because he's got that pace.
Yeah.
And then Trent Alexander could play on the right hand side as a wing back.
Yeah.
Oh, Pepe wanted that.
So it'd be interesting to see. Left backs interesting as well.
Yeah.
So I've got Saka in my squad. I've done my squad already. I had Saka in my squad.
Yeah.
But he's versatile. He can play left back. He can play right wing. He's
Partey.
He's never going to score. It's another John Jensen Partey. Can't believe it. What a chance! I tell you what, he done everything we could do there.
It connected really.
What a great turn as well on the half turn. Great first touch. Set himself up, volley. Oh, how unlucky that was.
Got the crowd going as well. We can just about hear them.
So at this point as a player, is your heart beating? Like when something just like that has happened, the crowd's then suddenly...
Yeah, it's great. I mean, imagine 60,000 people.
Yeah.
Imagine you're playing for something as well.
Yeah.
And they know you're playing for something. The crowd right behind you. That was a great turn.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
good shot as well.
Tell you what, that was
so
that turn is the big...
It bounced actually after.
Did the keeper get something on it? Keeper might have made a little tips there.
So who's in your... Yeah, you got it right. Smith Rowe's coming off.
Yes, Smith Rowe. I'm glad they didn't take Pepe off.
Yeah.
I've got right back. My team starting team, if everyone's fit, would be if they play back 4, which I think we've got more attacking players going forward.
Yeah.
I don't know how Jack Grealish has played today, but I think I'll try and get him in the team somehow.
Yeah.
Because I like the way he plays. He's very confident. He picks the ball up and he gets in good positions.
Yeah.
So my back 4 would be Walker, Maguire, if everybody's fit,
and
Stones, Chilwell.
Over Shaw.
Probably just about over Shaw. I think he's done all right in an England shirt so far. So I think Gareth will go with Chilwell.
Okay.
Then I'll play Declan Rice.
Yeah, in the middle.
And Mount. As 2 centre midfielders. Because Mount can do the same job. He can play deeper.
Yeah.
Then I'll go Foden off the right hand side. I'll play Grealish as number 10. But then they can link.
They can move.
If Mount runs past Grealish just steps in.
Yeah.
I will play Sterling. Off the left. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think he's done enough in the England shirt and he's experienced. And I'll play Kane up front.
Yeah.
That'd be my team if I was going forward.
Yeah. Who's in goal?
Pickford. He will go with Pickford. I think he's not let Gareth down, really, is he?
To be fair,
and Pope, I had that chance when he was injured, but he didn't really. He was okay, but he wasn't great, was he? He had a couple of mistakes, Pope. Henderson's made a few mistakes as well. I think, since he's come back from injury, Pickford, I think he's done all right.
Yeah. Well, if Pickford has half of the talent that he had in the World Cup,
I think if we went to a penalty shootout, we would have got to that final. Croatia.
Yeah, that
I would have fancied our keeper more than their keeper.
Yeah, he was on fire in that World Cup.
Oh, good ball, great ball.
Yeah, we've just got someone. Lauren saying Partey is now confirmed as John Jensen.
No, let's hope he's not John Jensen. He scores very soon. He needs to play a lot more games than John Jensen. I think John was. He played so many games. Chelsea 2-1.
Chelsea, they might just pull it back.
Right.
Chilwell, there you
There's
go.
still plenty of time. I mean, 20 minutes. So if they can get another quick one, suddenly they're back in the hunt. So this is where it gets exciting now. And I'm sure Tuchel's made a load of changes. Yeah. He's probably put more attacking players on and really going for it. Because you might as well lose 4-1 than lose 2-1.
Yeah, let's have
so I can see Chelsea getting back into this, probably a 2-2 draw. Is that enough for them to get into Europe? 2-2?
I think so. If they draw, then it's enough.
I think they might do it.
Yeah, they're going to throw the kitchen.
He's bought on Ziyech, took off
Jorginho, who's a defensive player.
Yeah, and he brought on Havertz and took off Kovacic. So
another 2 defensive players. So really, the team seems to put out was a very defensive-minded team trying to nick a draw. Yeah. Suddenly it's gone against them.
Control the
game.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do, make decisions like that as managers. Yeah. And there's still plenty of time. 70th minute. So this one's 76.
They had a late. Aguero scored.
Has he? Well,
how long?
In front of the fans as well.
How long did he play for? Did he play the whole match?
He's only just come on.
What a player, though. What a player, Aguero.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. The record he's got as well.
I think he's equalled the record of Wayne Rooney for most goals for a single club.
Is he?
183, I believe it is.
Wow. Very good. Yeah, he's... So
Liverpool still 1-0, so that's in a balance still.
Liverpool still 1-0, Leicester still 2-1. We just got the score update through Man City. 4-0 up, Aguero with the goal.
When you think
where will he go now, Maguire? It'd be interesting to see Barcelona.
There's a couple of rumours him going to. I just find it weird with Barcelona because they sold Suarez because he was 33 and they thought he was too old, and now they're going to bring in 33-year-old Aguero.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So it's.
Where's Coutinho at the moment? Is he still at Barcelona? Would he be back to the Premier League? Coutinho? There was talk about Everton.
I thought Arsenal were going to get Coutinho at one point.
Lacazette's coming.
Lacazette's going to make it.
See, I think Aubameyang will come off, and he didn't look too happy when he came off the other day, did he?
No.
Aubameyang.
He was throwing around stuff.
He was like, he didn't look too happy.
I mean, he had a hard year. Got malaria when he went on international duty. That must have set back the. Well done. Holding's been very good in that.
Solid, very solid.
Yeah,
he's a typical old-fashioned centre half for me. Yeah, just clear it, get it out of the way. We had players like Sol Campbell. Yeah, wasn't fantastic on the ball, was efficient on the ball, but what a defender. I mean, I'd rather, if I was buying a player, I'd rather know he's a good defender than rather play brilliant on the ball. Yeah, and that is.
Yeah, we talked about your player of the season. Who would be your manager of the season?
I think Bielsa's got to be up there.
Yeah.
As a manager, I don't think everybody else is not really. David Moyes, another manager,
he's done well with
done a great job.
Yeah.
But if Man City win the Champions League, then he's got to be Guardiola.
Yeah.
He's won a treble.
Yeah.
So I think I like to see managers do well. Though look at Sheffield United last year.
Yeah,
in Chris Wilder, he would have been very, very close to getting player managers. I know Jurgen Klopp won it in the end.
Liverpool go 2-0 up against Crystal Palace.
Well, not Salah, so he's still Golden Boot. Gary Kane's still winning the Golden Boot.
Wow.
100%.
Talk about going out on a high for Tottenham, isn't it? Win the Golden Boot and they come 8th. It's unbelievable.
No, it just
shows how good he is.
Yeah, exactly. If he was to play for
City, he'd get a bag full of goals.
Yeah.
Because how many chances they create?
Yeah. Surely that's a foul. It is a foul. Yeah, Leicester is still 2-1 up, and Villa are still 2-1 up as well.
So that cements their place in the Champions League. Liverpool.
Yeah.
Here we go. Tottenham
scored 2-2. Does that mean?
No, we're still above them.
Does that mean Arsenal is still above them?
We're still above them. It's really good when the goals go in and everyone's on their phone.
Everyone's checking the score.
No one's watching the game no more. Everyone's like, oh no, what's happening?
It's terrible because they got a ballot of people who can go to the game, and only that select few, and they're watching their phone, not the game.
Sanchez scored centre half. So it must
There
be
we
a
go.
set play.
So Arsenal are still.
Yeah, still doing enough though.
Ooh, yeah,
I'm happy with that.
And Leicester are now not in Champions. I mean, this is
Crazy.
really comes down to the last couple of minutes.
So Brendan Rodgers now has got to throw the dice now.
Yeah.
He's go, right.
Yeah.
Right, whack all the forwards on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Exciting.
That's why it's great, isn't it? I mean, that's why the
Yeah.
Premier League is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think this next season, I'm really looking forward to next season as well because, you know,
Fans back.
and
Yeah.
everything. Hopefully, we can get back to normal.
Yeah.
But we want this sort of excitement come to the last
Yeah.
day. You want people
Yeah.
playing for. Same with the relegation battle wasn't done because that's always very exciting.
Yeah. But I like the championship playoffs as well. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Brentford come up because
I went to their stadium this year. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Really nice stadium. Brand new.
Yeah. They couldn't even get a fan.
Obviously, got Swansea, haven't they, in the
Yes.
final? So
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done, Echo.
yeah, well
Let's
done.
see.
Where's Pepe?
Oh, Aguero scored again. Wow.
Look at.
He's got a hat trick now.
He's
His last
gonna have
game.
a farewell hat
He is
trick.
now the most broke the record now. Like he equalled Rooney with goal before, but now he's broke the record. So.
Wow.
Of what? For Manchester.
Most goals for one club ever.
Most goals for
Premier
one
League.
clubs in the Premier League.
Yeah, he is the most now.
There we go. I'm sure they'll pull up another statue for him or something.
So Premier League goals, how many has he got?
I think he's now it's 184.
What did Henry get in Premier League goals? I'm not too sure.
Double check.
He got two.
Rooney-
He got. That's all goals.
Yeah, so Rooney was 183 at United, and that was for one
No,
club.
but it was for one club.
And
But
then-
for
Oh,
all
right.
Yeah,
time,
sorry.
it was like 200 or something.
We've got a question from.
Shearer, 260 he got, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
Premier League goals.
out there.
But that was obviously different clubs.
We've got a question from Eric. Do you think this is Lacazette's last game for Arsenal?
Possibly, yeah. I think that he could be one player who leaves. I think he's been good for Arsenal. I think he's been a good player. But again, what sort of price tag is going to be on his head? I'm not too sure. But I think definitely striker is Arsenal where they look for a player. But
Yeah.
we all know strikers always another £20 million and what they're worth. I should imagine.
Yeah.
But it could be. It depends on what his ambitions are because he might want to play week in week out, and I don't think he's going to get that Arsenal.
You
Is it,
can't
at the moment?
imagine.
He was-
You can't imagine him coming on in the 80th minute. Is his
No,
desire.
and so it could be, which is a shame. But sometimes
He
you've got
w-
to make big decisions in
Yeah.
football teams.
He was brilliant at Lyon. And when I watched him quite a lot, and I thought he would have been good for any top Premier League team. And when he came in, he just didn't have that impact,
No,
probably that everyone was hoping for.
bit of consistency as well. Again, we'll go back to that.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone's on the phone looking at the Tottenham
What
score,
they-
probably.
Still 2-2.
Yeah.
still
81 minutes.
Still 2-2. Yeah, 8,000 fans at the stadium. I mean, that would be brilliant for them. Win the FA Cup, qualify for Champions League, but I just don't know if Leicester.
No,
have
they're
this-
out of it now, aren't they?
Now they are out, but if
They
they
can get a
if they
winner.
if they can get another goal,
Look, it's Vardy's on a hat trick as well, isn't he? I think he's got the second goal.
yes, he is. Yeah,
So there's another
Yeah.
player who coming to the end of his career, but
Yeah.
what a player he's been for Leicester.
yeah, incredible. But would you say that?
It's a shame he don't want to play for England, really, because you'll have him in the squad. If you
Yeah.
could bring him on every game, last 20 minutes,
Yeah,
with
you
his
would.
pace,
You would.
turn the defence,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. With Leicester, the only thing is I'm not actually sure if they are suited for the Champions League, because when they won the league, they played in Champions League and they just couldn't handle it because
No.
they just simply don't have the
But you can,
depth.
yeah, well, that's what you have to do. You have to buy
Yeah.
a few more players.
Yeah.
And I think the owner will give
If yeah,
Brendan
true.
money if he
true.
wants to.
Yeah.
If he wants to buy players.
Oh,
There we
it
go.
gives them
Martinelli
6
for the
minutes
last
at
This
end.
could be
minutes.
Pepe. This could be Pepe. No, Odegaard.
Odegaard.
I'm good.
There we go. He wants a hat trick. He said, "Boss, please keep me on."
The only problem now is it's not the same, is it? Because it's multi-ball system. There's so many balls
Yeah.
used. When
Yeah.
you used to, in the old days, you used to have one ball. and you get that ball to go home with.
Yeah.
Like, you could be any ball. They might not kick that ball and score with.
A ball to go home with.
While they make the substitution, we're gonna keep signing some balls if that's all right.
Quickly go, Luke.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We've got
Last 5 minutes.
Yeah, last 5 minutes to go. We've got Villa still leading 2-1 to Chelsea. Leicester, Tottenham still 2-2. Who's been your man of the match so far?
Man of the match.
Surely Pepe.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, doesn't it? He's, as Ray mentioned about the 9s and the 10s and the 8s and 8s.
Yeah.
Even so, he's coming finally showing why he's worth 72 million. I mean, a lot is said about a price tag sometimes, but you know, if he can bring this out week in, week out, then you know, it'll be hard to ever take him out of that position.
Yeah.
Who?
Pepe.
We were just asking who has been your man of the match.
It's got to be Pepe probably.
Pepe.
With what the goals he scored, very good, well taken goals.
Yeah.
The first one was an excellent first touch, and you know, confident player who hit it first time.
Yeah.
I think.
He's just got to do that week in, week out.
And the second one was an excellent finish. He saw the guy's legs and he passed it into. What you say about goal scorers, they pass it into the net. It's not all like rushed and smashed it.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly what he was doing there.
He put it very exactly where he wanted to put it.
When he saw the guy's legs open, and you can see the corner of the net, and he went, "If I just slip it through his legs."
It was amazing.
You know, a lot of people would have smashed it and maybe hit him in the body, the defender. So
just pass it through.
There we go. Man of the match.
There we go.
I can't think
like they heard us.
Any gets somebody scores too.
Guys, if you would like to receive or have the chance of winning one of these signed Arsenal balls or a signed Arsenal scarf by Ray Parlour, please drop a comment into the live chat saying that you would like to get one of these, and we'll be doing a draw after the event, and we'll be contacting the winners. So if you would like to receive one of these balls, please say you would like to get it and leave a contact detail, preferably your email, and we'll do a draw at the end of the event. We've got a question from a fan who is you were his childhood hero. It's a simple question, did you like playing with Thierry Henry?
Of course, yeah. I mean, you want to play with all the best players, and I sat next to Thierry he came in 99, I left 5 years, because he was number 14, I was number 15.
Yeah.
So that's how we sat in the dressing room areas. And he was a great lad. The first probably 6 or 7 games, he struggled a little bit. He couldn't score, and you know, he scored his first goal at Southampton, a really, really top class finish at the old Dale at the time. And then he got better and better every single season. But he loved all the banter, he loved having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
I tried to teach him a little bit of slang, Cockney slang, and I always remember we played Manchester City at Highbury, and he hit a ball and he went in.
What a ball.
And he went in and he hit the post and he went in. And I said to him, look, here we go, Martinelli.
Ooh,
corner.
Good.
No, throw in.
Yeah, throw in.
So I said to him, look, this is your big opportunity, because as I was walking off, I was captain, and he said, Ray and Thierry, can you go into the room and do Sky Sports?
Yeah.
So I said, Thierry, just so you had a lot of luck off the beans on toast, which is the post.
Yeah.
And they started talking to him. So talk me through the game. Talk me through the goal, Thierry. Well, I picked the ball up and boom. I hit the ball and it came off the beans on toast.
Yeah.
And went in. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow.
Tottenham go 3-2 up against Leicester.
Oh no, I'm not going to go to my local now.
Oh no.
And he said it live on TV, and it was unbelievable. I mean, and I started laughing. He started laughing, and he said he told me to say that. And, but no, Thierry was a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, to beat Ian Wright's record for what he did is amazing. I mean, I've got a bit of a downer now. That's the only thing.
There we go. So that.
Well, that's how football can change. I mean,
it is.
Leicester 2-1 up, looking like they could be in the top 4.
Yeah.
suddenly, bang bang goals, and
you
Leicester are out of the Champions League, and obviously Spurs now are in the conference.
Yeah,
which
looks like it.
Yeah, at the moment.
Oh, can you believe it? On the day we do everything right.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, good performance.
We got 3 or 4 minutes anyway.
Look at that.
Yes.
So you never know. You never know.
Watford, Leicester, Troy Deeney.
There's always a little bit of late drama in every single game.
Yeah.
Come on, Leicester.
It's putting me off because I can see on our TV that 90 plus 40.
Yeah.
Their ones is 3 or 4 minutes behind, so that gives us a glimmer of hope.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there you go. Villa still.
That's why it's so hard to be a fan now. I mean, the emotions during a game is frightening. As a player, you just get on with it, and you don't feel what the fans are thinking.
Yeah, 100%.
Until after the game, you think, oh yeah, look, what a roller coaster of a ride in the game, Oh, that's a terrible ball.
Yeah. I was going to say that Rob Holding for me was
he's been pretty good,
outstanding player, really.
He's been good.
Yeah.
He's a really good, honest player as well.
Yes.
I've spoken to him a few times. He's a nice guy, and he's hopefully he can get a run in the team next season. And he's still young enough. He's only 20.
Yeah. Oh, a bit of luck.
Oh, he's down Basuma.
Yeah. Knocking a couple million off his price if they injure him. And well,
that's it. I think in a minute.
Yeah.
One more go, Jacob. Oh, shoot.
Run, Jacob.
That's it.
Is that it? That is it.
Put them out the misery.
Let's have a look at.
Well, Arsenal done their job, but obviously they got to rely on other teams now to see what happens.
Yeah. Let's go to Leicester Spurs.
Oh, good idea.
And let's see if we can.
Offside. Oh.
Schmeichel up.
Oh, it's a corner as well.
Can you?
Oh no! Don't say it was on. Don't say
scored.
it was
Oh.
They missed it anyway.
I don't think it. 5 minutes. Come on.
Oh, this is amazing.
Come on, Leicester.
He'll be slowing it down now, Luis, in goal, as he is. A goal kick.
Oh my goodness. Can you believe it?
Playing for the conference.
To be fair, it's shown good character to come back in this game, Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because Leicester, it's different if Leicester were playing for nothing, but they're playing for a big prize. And if they win, obviously they was in the top 4. Chelsea losing.
And they know Chelsea are losing as well. They were losing at half time? Or were they not?
Oh, there we go. Good defending.
Ooh. Let's see, 3.5 minutes to go.
Oh, that's sick.
Leicester just need 1 goal, and then that puts Arsenal.
What's the ball? Here we go.
I think that's offside. Yeah.
Jamie Vardy.
What a player is.
Gareth Bale will be going back to Real Madrid, wouldn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know if the fans want him.
Maybe Harry Kane goes with him. Who knows?
Yeah. And maybe Son is. That's why I don't know. Like, if you take Kane out of the Spurs team, you don't really have any superstars. You've got Son left.
Son.
Yeah. But would Son feel like there's a future for him there if
Kane?
Well,
yeah, that's the big question. Yeah.
Kane leaves his partner.
Yeah, it's Son and Kane. You take away Son and Kane, I think that's 70 or something % of their goals for this season, and assists gone.
Newcastle 2-0.
Yeah.
Full time.
We've got a question as well. Would you be keen to coach Arsenal?
Coach? Oh, I think I'm rolled down a list of coaching. If I'm being honest. I didn't really go into coaching when I finished. Football's a very regimental life.
Yes.
You get told what to do every day.
Yes.
I mean, do this, do that, do that.
Yeah.
Play then, train then, eat then. And I was probably wanted to come out of that in the end.
Yeah.
As much as I loved it, being a football player. It was, I didn't go down that coaching role. I fell into media a little bit.
Yeah.
With TalkSport and that, and I love watching football, and I love going to games and whatever. So I was lucky in that respect that I could go to games and watch it. But You know, if someone said to me, "And where do you start?" You don't start at Arsenal. You know, I've got no chance of getting out. I'd have to start second division or first division, which is tough because you got to know the league itself. Which I didn't know the league. So you know, it's always very difficult. But of course, you want your team to do well, and if you've done well in the Championship or the teams you had, and one day they did ask you, of course you'd love to manage the club you play for. But I don't think that will ever happen. I'm afraid.
What do you think you would be?
I know I have dreams, but not the dream. I don't think them dreams will come true.
There's no one there. Seconds.
Oh, pushed him as well.
So,
He can't have a goal with. All right, minute.
Yeah, we've got 1 minute left.
Casper, shoot. That was amazing. That was an amazing achievement the other day. Allison, wasn't it?
The
West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, for Liverpool. Incredible.
As a keeper, that's
unbelievable. Great header as well.
Yeah.
It's the dream.
Oh yeah.
95th to win it.
More than anyone, Chelsea get away with one here because they are still losing 2-1.
They got away with it.
Yeah.
But they'll be delighted, Chelsea.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you get there. You know.
Yeah. As long as you get there.
But for me, it's been a successful season for Leicester.
Yeah.
I mean, winning the FA Cup.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, coming fifth. Come on, you got to throw it in. You only got to throw, he's looking around.
Man City won 5-0.
Yeah. You got to start smashing it forward now. Just get.
Yeah.
You ain't going to score from here.
Come on, lads.
That's it. Oh, that's it. It's all over.
That's all over.
Yeah.
They just got to keep the ball.
Well, overall, good performance by Arsenal.
Oh, Kane's in.
He's not going to pass.
Oh, it's off the post. Oh,
there we go. 4-2 to Leicester, to Tottenham. But
it's always going to happen like that.
Yeah. Goal by Bale.
To be fair, it was a good goal though.
Yeah.
The defenders all split. They thought he was going to pass it to Harry Kane.
Yeah, and he just kept going.
Hello, here we go. Look, he slip it into Harry Kane here.
Yeah.
And he goes with him. 1-2 with a post. I'm sorry he'd say you meant that. Yeah. So look at that. Oh.
Yeah.
Fair play to Tottenham.
Yes.
They show a lot of character.
To come back from 2-1 down.
I'm still gutted, but you know,
yeah,
it's one of them things.
But it's not playing. I don't. You know, it's European football, the conference, but it's not Europa League, is it?
No.
It doesn't have. It won't give you the same appetite for European.
He'd be disappointed, Brendan Rodgers.
Yes.
He would have been in a great position, 2-1 up in the game.
Yeah.
You know, come on lads, just managed the game well, and but it said be a fair play at Tottenham. They come back and they've got the win.
I just wanted to finish above Spurs.
That would have been great, but you know, it's been a poor season, and that would have been a little bit of a
icing on the cake.
Yeah, a little bit of a bonus if you're an Arsenal fan. But
a month
never mind.
Yeah, a month ago, Arsenal were quite far way behind Tottenham, and now Arsenal had a
match ended 4-2.
Good couple of games, but there we go. That is Leicester and Tottenham finished as well, and that does bring our event pretty much to the end as well. I would like to say again that if you haven't already, please download our application Fantastic Swap. It's a digital collectibles app, and it features Arsenal, Real Madrid and Dortmund players, moments from their seasons, and if you are into collecting or digital collectibles, give it check it out. If you scan the QR code on the screen and sign up, you'll receive 8 free packs to get your collection started. Thank you very much, Ray, for joining us.
I think he's just been told, Harry Kane, that the Liverpool result 2-0 to Liverpool. Who scored?
But
Mane scored, not Salah. So Harry Kane wins the Golden Boot. So well done to Harry
Kane. Just to finish it off, where would you like to see realistically Arsenal go for next season?
Well, obviously top four is so important. It really is for the club itself. We've been too long without it, top four, and you know a little bit of investment probably needed from the owners. Mikel Arteta needs to have a good pre-season. He needs to get the points across. They finished the season very well. That November month absolutely was a nightmare. But if you look at the record after that, you know, they would have come second. So that's the sort of form they've got to take into the new season.
Yeah.
And I just want them to get back to winning ways again and challenging for trophies, which is so important for the club.
100%. Well, thank you very much, Ray, for joining us.
Thanks,
I hope
guys.
you enjoyed it. I
guys.
really enjoyed it. Great insight into your career and into your footballer's life. Everyone on the live stream is saying thank you very much for your time, and great to have you. Thanks very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the event, even though Arsenal couldn't finish above Tottenham, but it's a good end to the season. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the weekend. See you later, everyone.
Thank you.